Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan. Whoopee!
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 535.
Hey, it is show number 535 of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Our producer, Samantha. Hello, Samantha.
Hello.
A brand new member of the show that a lot of people don't know about. Butler is in Virginia visiting his family. But today, on the couch hanging out is... I guess a new member. Tom hired him. He's been helping you around your house a little bit.
Way better.
Yeah, he's been helping you around the house. And,
Yeah, he does.
palming your pain pills, does some odd jobs. Maybe cleans up. Maybe watches your sons.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Travis Paul Randy.
Howdy, boys. Yeah, Travis Paul's gonna assist me in going to a Craigslist deal later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's my lookout guy.
It is Travis Paul Randy on news today. You haven't heard from this guy in a minute. He's slimming down. He doesn't look like the same guy. It's due to the Peloton. And yes, he is my wine mom friend. It is my buddy Chris Fisher from BYOCB Podcast. He's hanging out on news today. Hey, what's up? Welcome, everybody. How you doing?
So, a couple things.
Travis Paul Randy, what the fuck are you doing?
You got your quail eggs, pickled quail eggs
Honestly,
in front of you.
what, Butler, what made you...
It makes me so
What
happy.
made you wake up this morning and say, you know what, I'm going in to my job where I'm a professional sales guy, very small company, very boutique, craft radio is what Tom calls it. We've been working all week. We took off a corporate time with Tom and Dan. We haven't been doing that this week. So sorry, guys. I know that some people, what's cool? Some people were just giving rundowns of what we did on a corporate time. So like, okay, you don't have to listen to this one, but here's what happened just in case you want to, which is cool. I thought that was pretty cool. But what made you, Travis, what made you think I'm going to put, as you called it, my wife's extremely expensive hair extensions in your hair, put on Oakley blades, and then come to the studio as the character Travis Paul Randy?
Well, some eagles are born to fly.
All right, thank you, Travis.
That's a great answer.
Going all in.
What it tells me is they're like, I could do anything in this shit job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's surrounded by two swamp clowns.
Here's what I thought. If there was ever a question... we've questioned before whether or not he comes to work high. There is no question anymore. The question I consider
how high does he get?
Some eagles were born to fly. Yes, we fucking know.
He's flying high right now.
How high? I mean, up until you can't breathe anymore.
Some eagles were born to fly. That makes that. First of all, it doesn't make sense, and you are got to be stoned out of your goddamn mind right now.
Hold on. That brings. Will eagles fly so high to the point? Well, I guess the air gets so thin they probably can't maintain lift.
I believe they get a
anymore.
little cold.
Yeah, is it cold first?
Oh, thank you.
The oxygen.
Thank you, Travis. I believe they get a little cold. They make us they get up there. Woo! My eagle tits is freezing.
Real quick, next week we have these Apple Watch bands, courtesy of Mark Larabelle and Vintage Paper Company.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be starting the pre-sale on Monday. If you have or interested into Apple Watch bands, we're gonna put them as pre-sale for 1 week, and then we'll ship them all out. But that's the only way to do it because we weren't gonna go about pre-making a bunch of different colors and all that shit. Just I don't want to have those in stock. It's like pre-sale, and then
not everybody has an
turnaround.
Apple Watch. I think we have
I'm
3
sad.
people here that have an Apple Watch, right?
Yeah. It was just something that Mark suggested, and we're like, let's do it.
Yeah. And if we could do Android or Tag Heuer, somebody asked, do you have the Tag Heuer? I'm like,
Maybe,
what? Really? Tag Heuer? I mean, we'd love to, but those are, if we can, we'll do it. We will.
We got new BDM dry fit shirts on the site right now. If you're into that, they're available. We still have stock on those. And our straw hats, our Floridan straw hats, with the cabana print
Yes.
underneath. I believe we're going to change the design after this one.
Yes.
So if you want the Florida straw hat, get them while there's still probably like 80 left. So just order them
But
because
they're-
the next incarnation will be a different design.
They're pretty limited. It's the official hat. We've given this to Harlan Williams, other comedian friends of ours. I know Peter from Scotch and Good Conversation. He wears his when he's walking his dog, Rosie. So it's a great hat, and it holds up to... I've been abusing mine just to see how it holds up, dunking it in the pool and trying to see if I can beat it up a little bit. It's good, man. It's holding fast. So get those while you can.
So last night I did something that I haven't done in a long time.
Jibber.
Did you go porking?
No.
Did you get the wedge out, dust off the wedge?
Not that.
and hit it?
Yeah.
I did.
That'd have been nice.
Oh, I got at it last night.
Did you?
I think I licked a little low though.
No, come on.
Because I felt
yes.
it raise my face up.
Oh, you didn't know where you were going?
No, I knew where I was going, but
It's like licking a battery.
What?
Thank you, Travi.
It's
It
like
is.
iron down here.
It is.
It is.
So not that.
Like chewing on aluminum foil,
my wife told me,
stinging my teeth.
she's like, I heard about this.
The chat room's checking in load for load?
No, not load for load. This is.
Or, excuse me, loads for load, which is completely unfair.
So Tommy started kindergarten last week, and
Nice.
just like every kid started school last week here in Orlando, and so my wife, in an effort, because it's weird, like with preschool, you got a lot more, FaceTime with the teachers because you're dropping them off at the smaller or whatever, And then in elementary schools, everybody knows, like you drop them off in the car line, they go inside, like you don't see the teacher anymore. So then you become disconnected to what your kid's doing. I'm sure, for the most part, and if this was 20 years ago, what do you mean? Do you record? Like, it's their
it's their job,
It's their
yeah.
problem now. You just drop this kid off,
Yeah,
and you leave. You go
Tell the
pick him up.
teacher to put your clothes on.
But my
Drive
wife
away.
wants to be involved, like in the whole
One of
thing.
those.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, I heard about this. They're doing this PTA meeting.
You can skip that stuff, too. You can
What?
be like, that's for mamas and sons.
I can't.
Daddies stay home and play Madden.
Yeah. The
Earn money.
free blowjob guy can skip it. Me, I am stuck.
It's not a
with doing
free blowjob. I mean, there are certain things I have to do. you
Oh, yeah,
know?
the
Like I
gently
have to
massage-
drink like 2 less White Claws. Stuff like that. Occasionally hug my daughter.
So my
Give
wife,
her a smooch.
throughout the week, she's like, "Oh, we're doing this thing on Thursday night. It's the PTA meeting, or like it's some school get together, whatever." Like I, as you guys know, don't pay attention to details of anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I've noticed.
so most of the time, I get in the car with my wife. I honestly don't know where I'm going. Like I didn't really ask her too much.
That's
I'm
kind of fun. That's like the first time on Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean. Like you get in, you're like, I don't know where this
Adventure.
boat's going.
because to me, wherever we're going, it's all the same shit. It was like so whatever we're going.
Daddy, tell no tale.
I don't need to know the details. It's
No.
just one less thing.
Man, I
know.
cannot live that way.
Plus,
oh my
you're
God.
you're typically high and you don't care about the details.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just
yeah,
sitting
there's that
there
too.
like riding along. Yeah.
It comes from like living in chaos and just being able to adapt to any situation I'm thrown into because
It
of
is
living
the
in chaos.
way that you were raised.
No
yeah.
prepared,
Yeah,
never
but I
prepared.
get anxiety about that.
No, not me.
I like how you said no prepared. No prepared. You're talking like the Hulk. Hulk no prepared.
So
He's wearing a green shirt today.
He is.
yesterday, like all of a sudden it finally comes around, and I was like, oh, we got to go do that thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, where? And it's at the Cimarron Skateway,
Oh,
which is
yeah, right across from
which is
Oyster Bar.
literally right in front of my house.
Yeah.
Like nothing's
Do you
more
one-wheel
fancy than
out
having
there?
a gigantic purple warehouse within.
Since when did they start doing field trips for PTA meetings?
It's okay.
I
so
think it was like a meet and greet.
it wasn't me. I was all wrong with my
Oh.
details.
Like
Yeah.
normally the
It's
first
like a
one
meet
that
and
they
greet,
do
yeah.
is like a big one. Like they make it big. They might have it at
All the ones were at my school.
Yeah, ours were too, but things have changed.
Set things up.
It's a different time. More people are involved.
Yeah.
The internet has shamed parents into getting involved. I think that's what it is. Like, because,
Yeah.
Like I know.
Do you feel guilty like when you see other parents doing like I'll be honest with you. When I saw your wife's post of her and the kids at the PTA thing, I instantly said, "Oh man, I skip a lot of those."
Well, Andrea's, she's doing it all. Like,
well, not all of it, but I mean, like, I was like, I should probably be there.
Nah, Andrea, listen, what are you going to contribute?
No,
I'm not going to contribute anything.
I'm just going to be high. I'm going to sit there.
I don't need to be there anyway. I'm just forced because, my wife's an old bitch. Don't do that.
God damn.
Hey, you guys, come on. I'm just fucking
It's like
around.
a Handman's Tale. Yeah, you're of Crystal.
I'm of Crystal.
Okay.
I'm just fucking around. Anyway, so
Had to throw that in there.
See, I did say I'm just fucking around.
dude, we pull up to this place and it is shit slam.
You said it was bananas.
Because I'm on it. Like the last time I went to Cimarron's Gateway, I went for a roller derby, right? And it was like marketed towards adults and stuff, and it was the stuff they were trying on like off nights or whatever. And so that was the last time I went to a roller skating rink. Unless you count 25 years ago when I was a kid.
Oh, man, that's where we used to finger girls.
yeah. Like that's
There was a BDM side chicks meet up there.
At Cimarron's Gateway, yeah. I wasn't ever there.
I don't know anything that you guys know. I'm not allowed in the fucking group.
For like
I'm gonna start a guys group.
a regular kids night.
Yeah.
And
I'm kidding.
so
kidding.
we show up, we pull in the parking lot, and I'm like, holy shit. This parking
How many
lot
cars
is
do you think?
Dude, enough where people were parking in the grass. People were parking in the grass on the outside, like whatever field they can get.
Yeah.
Like,
And this was just for the school.
well, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's
right. No
not.
details. No details.
But it's
Probably
Thursday
not.
night.
I don't
so-
think the school could shut the entire Cimarron Skateway down. I mean, I think you'd have to rent the whole place. That'd be kind of expensive.
Well, I was expecting like I'm gonna walk in and there's gonna be like some kids playing around in the middle of and so we finally parked far like in the grass, like not even on parking, but like in the grass next to the dumpster.
Yeah.
And walked to the
That's
front.
fitting.
And and I by the way, like I started like I'm cognizant of how like I'm now with my big old Silverado
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the wife and me and the way I look, I'm like, oh, this has Trumpy written right
Yeah,
all over it.
yeah.
I was like, I bet people stereotype me and my
I
family.
mean, you're literally only a fishing boat away from people knowing how you voted. You know what I mean? Like,
But I'm
yeah.
getting a boat too.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I was like, the stereotypes work both ways.
Yeah.
Still, you should always believe him though. Even though that's not true in my case and most cases. Anyway, so I walk in and I'm like, holy dude, there was 600 people there. I'm not even joking. It was insane, like the amount of people in this. And I didn't realize that roller skating rinks were still like a super popular thing. And it's insane how many people were here.
Were there kids on speed skates? The
Dude,
black skates?
I mean, there were so many people.
Any
in this.
any bladers?
So this
Oh,
is
yeah.
the best thing I've ever seen, and this makes me want to do more things like this because I love. And by the way, I fucking loved every minute of it. I was like, everybody, the families, like I'm full on family dad now. So, and usually I make fun of this type of shit, but I enjoy it. Like, oh my god, everybody's having a fun time.
Or did you even put your hand in the middle? Was
No,
like,
I'll
1, 2,
never do that.
3, school.
I more stand in the corner.
Yeah, but
observe.
inside you had a happy feeling.
Yeah, but
This is weird to me.
just because I was
think
like,
I'd have to see it to believe it.
and like this is
Because you
everybody's having
hate fun. You're the one that implemented No Joke Fridays.
When my sons have fun, that makes me have fun.
Right.
So that's all it is. You know,
Gotcha.
if my sons hated it, I would be like, "You're right. This place does suck," and I'll push over a
It's
dad.
sun's out, fun's out.
Yeah. So
yeah.
this is the best thing I've ever seen. So we're walking around Tommy and Max. It was overwhelming. This thing's at a gigantic warehouse. Look at airplane hangar size, and there's just 600 to 700 people running around.
Do they have
swarming.
arcade games and like
They got
air
some of that.
hockey?
Yeah,
and
they got some of that.
Snack bar with a
There's a small party room.
It's a stereotypical
snack bar with a piece of poster board where some old lady wrote what what kind of shit they bought at
Dude,
BJ's.
this gateway must be banking because like every other day there's a specific school's PTA fundraiser. held there.
dude,
yeah.
dude,
Good
I
for
mean,
them.
they
Good
put-
for them.
I mean, I don't know
In
what
a day
they
and
charge
age when
but-
businesses are closing their doors, it's kind of cool to see something so for lack of a better term, archaic, like surviving.
old school. That's why I didn't realize it was such a thing.
And here's an idea: it's fucking exercise. It's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, my boys loved it.
Yeah, it's great to have your
Oh,
kids.
you're gonna have little skaters.
My sisters or my
Tommy
well,
loved
not,
it a little too much.
They're not. Yeah, he wants the
like-
outfit.
I was
Give
like-
me some sequins,
Doing some
Dad.
pirouettes.
I was like, he was out of all the athletic things I've ever attended, all of a sudden
I'm gonna be a skater.
he was skate crazy and he loved it a lot. And he looked like a bird wearing skates.
Get that boy some blades.
Like,
Yeah, get him some blades. Foster it, man.
cool. Like
My god sisters were all skaters, and we'd go up to Dayton Skate was our skateway, and we'd go up there, same thing, packed.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was exercise. You know, my mom would far rather me be there than at home on my Sega Genesis getting fat.
Dude,
you
of
know?
course. It was great. So anyway, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So I'm walking around, like we're showing Tommy and Max like the whole place, like giving them one, and then all of a sudden they do like the DJ like clears the whole skating rink floor, and it's time for like some sort of dad race, right?
Yes.
So
Oh, let's get the dads
yeah,
out
yeah,
here.
yeah. So all of a sudden,
did you do it?
No. I didn't put on.
Were you the
skates.
only dad there?
Motherfucker, you didn't do
no,
it?
No.
You could have won this.
I just walked in. It was like the
You're
5
the
minutes
most
after I walked in.
competitive dad I know. You're born for glory.
Well, I'll tell you.
Some eagles have to fly.
Yeah.
I could beat you in a skate race.
There's
We're setting that up next week.
I haven't put on 4 like
You haven't put on
Quads.
shoes.
Quads.
You haven't put on shoes.
You're right.
Let's start
That
with
is also
Hold on,
true.
let's start
I'm
with
putting
fucking
shoes in here.
shoes.
Currently no shoes on.
Wheel
Yeah,
shoes.
not to mention wheel shoes. Yeah, let's start with the ones that don't roll.
So all of a sudden, there lines up about like 6 dads, right? And maybe one old teen or older teen, like a 17, 18-year-old teen.
These old fat dads, fit dads. What are we talking
It's
about?
a mixture,
Joey dads.
but most of them are the us type of dads.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah, regular
fat dads.
dads,
Yeah,
yeah.
regular. So I look up, they line up, and then the DJ's like, all right, everybody, 2 laps. He's explaining the rules. And I'm looking at all the dads in line, and most of them, like the 5 out of the 6, were wearing the rental quads, right?
Potato skates.
Then-
right? Are they still the ones that look like a potato
Yeah,
with
yeah,
orange
yeah.
wheels?
Yeah.
Potato skates.
Leather, orange wheels,
Yeah.
potato
It looks like
wheels.
the Red Grange's helmet from NFL football.
Then one dad, straight white blades.
Yeah.
Inline skates, and then
Did he have a helmet on? And
no,
like a,
no helmet, but he was like
Wrist guards.
He wasn't a fat dad, but he was, let's say, documentary Tom fat dad. You know, what I'm saying? Like it was like
Pudgy.
regular dad.
I dusted off these beauties, haven't rocked these since I was listening to Salt and Pepper's Push It.
And when the DJ hit the starting whistle or whatever, this fucking dad took off.
yeah, he did. The fucking white lightning.
and then started Apollo Ono.
Apollo.
Whatever.
Oh no!
Polio Ono.
Apollo
Polo
Ono, like speed skating, literally where the first curve, he's doing the shit with his
shuffle.
leg,
The shuffle. Where you go over.
Yeah, over.
It's called shuffle skating. Yeah.
And now the other guys, he blew the
They don't
doors
know how
off.
to do that,
They're
yeah.
fucking running on their tippy toes and shit on their quads. This motherfucker is hands behind his back, like Apollo Ono, like going back and forth smooth now.
Yeah.
And now
He's making smooth transition turns. He's doing the
Dude,
shuffle, crossing the legs
Shuffle
over.
guard. And now I'm looking around because I'm like, this guy's fucking with us all. Like I'm looking at seeing if
He's a ringer.
If there's his friends laughing and he's laughing, if there's like
No,
he's doing
he's taking it
Dude,
seriously.
dead fucking span
yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Like
And that man's name was Travis Paul Reddy.
The one and
this
only, baby.
motherfucker killed them all, like lapped them,
Yeah.
and then won the race easily. And
Did
like,
he stop like?
yeah, no, he's like,
You know that? You know those
Yeah.
slides? My god sisters could do that. I never, I was an okay skater, not bad. I never made speed team or anything like that. But I had black skates with, I'd graduated past potato skates. But I could never master that move where you kind of hop and you land and you just.
Yeah. He killed it one easily, then like disappeared into the crowd. Like he does this every
Andrea,
Thursday.
my wife's in the chat room. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. She says this dad was living for this night. Did you get that feeling?
Oh yeah,
Like this guy had been waiting he'd had children just so he could show off his blading ability.
What's weird, like, okay, what's that mentality? Because like,
They have adult nights at the Cimarron Skateway.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is there a
They probably-
prize involved in this?
I didn't see it. He didn't the DJ didn't say like, oh, you won it. He just did it for the glory.
See, I think this guy's going on Facebook events and just going to every single PTA to show up all these
It might
dads.
be.
You beat them by such a margin. No one even was close. Like it's not like some other dad was like right behind you drafting you. Like he wasn't even like by the time he was half a lap above everybody in the first 5 seconds. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a couple other funny things, and one thing that I noticed that it was totally counterintuitive to the society we live in. And let me see if you guys agree on this. So there's a regular, like the main skating rink, and then there's like a kids area, right? Which is like for the small kids. The Tommy and Max started there or whatever, because in the regular skating area, like you got the adults and the bigger
it gets
kids.
a little fast.
Yeah, like the 4 or 5 years old, the smaller ones.
Sure.
So in that area, all the kids are, and by the way, they are eating shit.
Oh, yeah.
They're not falling like a gentle flower. They are legs violently shooting
And then
out
you
from
land
underneath.
right
There's
on your
no
head.
easy way to fall
Yeah,
skating.
and I saw some like 6-year-old fall on his wrist, and I swore it broke. If he didn't have rubber bones, it would have broke. Like he landed
Yeah.
on his wrist.
Oh, you could crack your head wide open on that concrete.
And then he was
man.
like, he grabs his wrist. I was like, oh shit, this kid's fucking hurt. I was like when the NFL players go and they're like, one of their players is like knocked out, they freak out and they start waving over
they want the PT to come over, physical trainer, get the referee over here.
Like it's bad when the wide receiver goes up and then starts like panic waving the doctor
It's
over.
broke, it's broke.
Yeah. Like you could tell, like I was on panic waving like the moms.
I can't breathe.
And but no kid in this entire place had a helmet, which
Well, you don't wear helmets as skaters.
You're right, and I agree with that.
What are you,
and
some kind of fucking nerd?
That's what I'm saying. Except for the society we live in now, I was surprised that I didn't see all these kids wearing helmets, because like it changed in the skiing world. Like everybody
when you're
wears
in the skating
helmets.
rink, it's a different world.
Because that's still stuck in the past.
Yeah.
But how did our super like helicopter mom, everybody's worried about the kids society?
Well, maybe you talking about it, maybe you're going to change it. So maybe you should shut your goddamn mouth.
Believe me, I don't want to put my kid in a helmet at a skating ring.
Well, then stop talking about it.
I'm surprised that I didn't see a bunch of kids in helmets, like especially in a like a super dangerous. Like
it raises the cost, because then you have to rent not only potato skates, which I'm sure you have to opt in and they get destroyed, but now you got to carry every size fucking helmet.
But you can make money, because you could rent them out for $5. And
but you got to buy them.
What do you mean?
You got to come up with the cost of buying, 150 fucking helmets.
But
and that place is not in the business of buying more gear, man.
I think they could make it. I'm surprised.
Do it with a car wash.
Somebody said, "How about lice helmets?" Yeah, that's another thing too.
I'm not putting on a Castleberry helmet. I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing. I'm sure you could bring your own. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, every one of these kids. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Every one of these kids have bike helmets, right? Because we are in a world now that there's no kid without a bike helmet, especially under the age of
16, right? That's
6,
the law,
7.
right?
Yeah, and we didn't wear helmets when we were learning to ride a bike.
I don't think Travis Paul Randy's kids have helmets.
No. But
for F word for gays.
Now I'm not saying they should have or anything like that. I was
just surprised.
I was surprised that it's 2019 in a crazy safety
You didn't even
world.
see one, not even one.
There was one nerd with one, and I felt bad for him, because I looked at the mom and I was like, "Oh, I feel bad for you." Like now, I'm
going around again, Mom. I'll see you in about 35 minutes.
Honestly, I did
hold the line.
Here's
I was a Polo Ono's kid,
and I did feel bad that because I thought to myself, like, man, these. Like, my son's probably, like, if I had helmets here, I'd probably put them on them, because, like, they are falling.
What did your wife say? Because isn't she normally
was surprised too.
The more cautious one?
Well, she
was okay with your boys riding, because they can't even ride their Power Wheels without a helmet, right?
No, with the bicycle, the Power Wheels. Yeah, no, because
I never wore a helmet on my Power Wheels.
No, but
I can see why you would,
dude.
Well, when you have your dad pulling you, on
I'm
a
pulling him 20 miles an hour.
throwing him into a van, you kind of need a helmet.
Yeah, they wouldn't wear a helmet if I was just pulling them by hand. The one wheel,
you're
I start
hauling
getting
ass,
up speed. And listen, protecting your brain, like, this is coming from a guy who will have Alzheimer's or CT or something.
You might be there, buddy.
Yeah. It's trickling in.
You've been repeating a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah. I'm not gonna live a full life from what damage I've done to my brain. It's understandable.
Like, the first thing you said to me today was like, "We're doing a show today, right?" And I'm like, "All right, yeah." I'm Dan. Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome.
I did also see a dad squish his daughter because he made the mistake of picking his daughter up while she was wearing skates and he was wearing skates. Which apparently, like, a guy in a referee shirt ran and yelled at him, because I guess, and then I saw a sign, there's like, no picking up your kids while wearing skates, because I guess this happens so much. But he literally picked her up, and then as soon as he started walking, he's like, ding, 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 and then landed awkward fat dad straight up squishing his daughter, and she scream cried.
This sounds like an
Dude,
awful.
it was chaos. That's why I was surprised. I was like, I'm like, man, I'm really surprised. Like, I didn't see a bunch of fucking kids.
Well, I mean, you are at basically rolling Flea World. I mean, it's not like. I know it's fun.
It's not Winter Park's Gateway.
Yeah, well, no, any of those. I mean, I approve of it. I think it's really cool. But you are at like literally, it's in the same category as like a circus, right?
Yeah.
There are no like brand new up to date skating rinks, right?
Not here.
Oh, it's
But
all
There's the
80s.
one in Castleberry.
No,
There's one in Kissimmee.
In bigger cities, there would be. It's kind of like catchy. It's kitschy, like bowling. You know, like in like an LA or like a Chicago or New York.
But we have nice bowling alleys here, like Splitsville and
Right.
Disney. Like, where's the nice skating rink?
It'll come. Somebody will do it.
I think
There's also a liability thing with that too.
the business model is keep it cheap and then make, because it was all 80s shit, like
nothing's upgraded.
Yeah,
Stinks.
but that's how they probably make money because they probably go through droughts of times where it's not as popular, and they probably got into this like, hey, we're going to host.
How was the
school events.
DJ? What kind of tunes are you spinning?
Old Town Road, all
Yeah.
what the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
love.
Yeah,
Max
kids
is
love-
dancing.
Are
By
you-
the way, I'm tired of that fucking song.
Yeah, your kids love Old Town Road,
Oh
right?
yeah. They request it every day on the way to school.
We dropped off today, and they have on the football stadium. They're blasting that Baby Shark. Oh god!
Oh, that's a real baby.
Anytime we got, and they still do it in second, third grade. We go and they're still doing this Baby Shark. No Baby Shark.
Maisie has a baby shark in her room. One of those shark embryos or whatever, the Florida ones you buy.
Oh yeah.
What?
Because
Shark in a jar?
Yeah, shark in a jar. Because her theme when Andrea's going through her pregnancy, when I decorated the room, I went like kitschy roadside Florida. So she's got posters everywhere. She's got like shark in a jar. She's got a gator head, a chopped off gator head that's been like urethaned. She's got all that junk.
We do a bit where I always ask my kids what songs they're listening to, and it's weird they never change artists. They only listen to Post Malone and Imagine Dragons, and Imagine Dragons songs from like 2 years ago. That's it. And whatever the like Old Town Road. That's it.
Man,
they
you gotta introduce them to new music.
They like the same shit
They like
over
the
and
same
over.
one- the same thing.
I don't like bands that tell me what to do with the name of their fucking band. Like Imagine Dragons. Yeah, fucking you Imagine Dragons. That's for babies. I'm not doing that. Don't tell me what to do.
So I got another theory, and tell me if you guys are with me on this or against me. Okay. So I thought about this the other day, and I have a lot to talk about because we have we took off ACT, so all this
You've been
shit I've
chomping
been
at the
normally
bit.
talking
I know,
about.
I know.
Okay, so you know how in society we all look at when an old couple, when one of them passes away, we always feel so bad for the one that's left, because we're like, our theory is like, oh man, these two people have been married for 55 or 60 years, and then, the husband died and left the wife. And that's so sad because they've been married for 55 years. That's all they know. Like, the other one's going to die of loneliness. And, that's the whole thing. So I started thinking about that because I was telling something to my wife, and she was tired of listening to me talk. This is a common theme, I'm telling her some idea that I got, and you guys know, from some cockamamie business idea or some shit, or how I think.
Tell me what you guys think about this.
What? Sorry, I zoned out.
Exactly.
It's happening.
Yeah. So imagine my wife who deals with this all the time. And so I'm telling her, and I see in her eyes are going dead as I'm explaining this whole theory about how the podcast business works.
I get the same shit.
So I'm
Podcasting and
God.
Peloton. That's all I talk about with my wife.
Yeah.
She's like, shut the fuck
And
up.
all I do is
We
get
know.
blowjobs.
I say, your wife, she knows too.
I don't think I've
talked.
talked to my wife since the last blowjob. It's been I think it's been like 3 weeks.
So I'm watching her go dead
That's how we
behind the eyes.
communicate.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want for dinner tonight? She sucks my dick. I'm like, all right, La Fiesta.
And then I started thinking about this, and I was like, wait a minute. What if we were wrong to feel so bad about the one of the people dying?
Maybe they're relieved.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Just wait a minute here, because I was like, wait a minute. Like, if a young boyfriend and girlfriend, if one of them dies, like you fucking straight up Romeo and Juliet here. It's like
Yeah.
you fucking kill yourself.
Montague and Capulet that shit. Yeah.
And so I was like, the young couples, they have the real fucking fiery passion. It's not
All
been
right.
it's not
I'm
been
following
burning
your
for
theory.
60
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I started,
or 60 years of extreme abuse.
or just just 60 years with being another
Same
with another
motherfucker.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
I
made.
like the way you said that.
I think as a society,
Hey, motherfucker.
we should like look at these situations when like an old couple, one of the people die and they're old, like, and feel like hey, that's pretty good at this point. Like,
Yeah.
maybe there's a little bit of relief. And I started thinking, I was like, if I make it. I've known my wife for 20 years since we were 16. We've
Holy
lived
shit.
together for 16 years.
Holy shit.
And we've been married for over 10 now. And so the amount of time is building up, and I'm seeing this. We go another 30 years, which
Oh
is
my God.
which is plausible. I mean, unlikely, but plausible. There's some MythBusters here. But we get there, and imagine, I'm 60s or 70s.
Well,
and,
maybe you're not buying into that you'll love each other more. You're thinking that it could work that you're both absolutely sick of each other.
No, not sick of each other. We love each other, all the same thing. I'm just saying, if I kick off from CTE or whatever, heart disease.
It's like losing a pet that kept you from traveling.
All I'm saying is that society shouldn't feel that bad for my wife, that there's got to be some sort of relief in her eyes.
Well, the chat room is checking and saying that there would be relief.
Yeah, like she's like, oh, god damn, I'm tired of this motherfucker asking me where shit is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm like, every time this guy's got a new phone, he proclaims it is broken. Like, the same shit.
No, that's me. That's not your wife.
How many times can he load the
I'm like, goddamn, man, it's brand new.
No, I do it to my wife too. And then, like, how many times can he load the dishwasher, forget to turn it on? Like, all the same shit that I've been doing
Well, the
over
hard
the
part
years.
is the loading.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know what I mean?
But then
I
she
feel
opens it in the
You
morning.
mean we haven't got to a point where the dishwasher knows that it's fully loaded? Come on.
No, I know.
We're
It
in the
should
future
automatically
now.
turn
It
on.
should weigh itself. I mean, we have vending machines. If you take a Coke out of it, it'll fucking charge you without even. You mean to tell me we can't have that technology?
So all I'm saying, if we all make it long term with our significant other, and then we die, we should, as society, not feel so bad for the other person. There's a tinge of relief there that maybe. No, they're going to be sad. My wife is going to be devastated, obviously, but there's also a percentage of relief.
But who would be more devastated?
Well, by that
Tom
time,
will be able to live on his own.
Yeah, like I think about that.
Become
I think
dependent.
about obviously, if something happened to you, then I don't know how we would carry on this business. And I'm sure you kind of worry about the same thing with me.
Slide at another person.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't.
I think you can. You hire a talented, go get it.
You're wrong.
Any talented
You're wrong.
broadcaster.
I'm not going to have the same chemistry with him. It's not going to be the same.
And it would be hell for that person
I
because
thought you were doing a Louis Armstrong.
I see trees of green.
they'd always have to. They'd be compared to you. It wouldn't work. The business model wouldn't work.
Yeah, but like who would? But you, I worry.
Randy Paul or
if-
Travis Paul Randy could sit in for you.
If Crystal though,
got you,
if something
brother.
happens to her, like I don't know if you would have enough time to even do this. Like you'd immediately
we're
have to
taking
try to get your
kids.
nanny back or something, right? Like you would need something.
Yeah.
Or would you just
Younger
go and get
girlfriend.
younger girlfriend?
Yeah.
All right.
I got a Harley, younger girlfriend.
I'm going right to the villages, loofah crazy.
I mean, my kids will be fucked. Let's just be honest. Like, I'll keep them alive, but
Yeah, but they're gonna be
trauma-
mentally
Yeah. I told my wife, like, don't die.
I would give up Maisie.
Like if I die, stay
alive
they'll
for the
be,
kids.
They'll
Yeah.
be mad.
if
but any other fat dad
if
can come in.
Andrea goes and it's just me, I would probably, just for the sake of both of us, I would probably just give Maisie to someone good, because she's a great kid, wonderful kid, and
she's so independent. She
and-
can raise herself.
Oh
at
yeah,
this point.
I mean right now she comes to my fucking
she's more
room.
responsible than I am.
She comes to our room fully fucking dressed, ready to go, and then she
Yeah.
just goes downstairs and I'm like, "What do you want for breakfast?" And she just picks it out. Like she knows where everything is.
She's her own woman now.
She's
It's
a
fine.
fucking, what do you call it? Home Alone. It's totally Home Alone. Like she does everything on her fucking own.
Have you all had the discussion with your spouses on if they were to pass away, or would you want them to be with someone else in the future?
Oh yeah.
No, I've told Andrea she can't.
What are you gonna do? You're dead.
I'll haunt her.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Come
I'll
back.
come. I'll come at her.
She don't.
I'm
believe
haunting
in
Jen no
that.
matter what.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's too logical to believe in that, and she's gonna get railed by some
Also,
hot dude.
All ghosts are able to do is like open your cabinets every once in a while.
Yeah.
Turn the light
I've
on.
seen.
I mean,
I've seen what people claim ghosts do, and it ain't shit.
The
Not
worst-
scary at all.
Like literally, the worst I could do if my wife was fucking some other dude as a ghost is walk through them as they're fucking, and then he's gonna be like, "It's a little cold in here."
Yeah.
You know, like-
You may be able to.
That's it. That's as far as it will ever get.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
God damn it! All I did was make his ass cold.
In the chat room, they said, AI Tom, download all his stories and nobody will even notice.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm easily replaceable. But
We could set, Travis there and then just do a deep fake.
here's another thing.
Put a
that
hologram.
I wanted to talk about is I've noticed, and I thought I wasn't going to do this, but I'm treating Max differently than I am Tom. I shouldn't call myself
grown
Tom.
man
really
now.
grown man.
Tommy is because I didn't like, and it's exactly
Go to your cave,
whatever.
Tommy. Eat your ice cream.
It's probably what every parent goes through when they have multiple kids is that you've already gone through like the original stuff with the first one, and then when you do it again with the second one, it's like you've already done it, so it's easier. It's like less,
there's even
less big deal around it.
I think there's a Dial soap commercial about that where it's like first kid and you see him in the bathtub and they're like washing him gently, and then it's like second kid and the mom hands the kid to the dad and he's in the shower and he's just washing them together.
It's stereotypically the same shit, but I noticed it when Max's first day of pre-K happened, and Max had been going to the school, even the summer he went to the same class with Tommy for summer school, so he had already been through this, going and like in pre-K, they make you like take off your
Clothes.
your backpack,
and get into the orgy box.
they make you take your lunch pail out and your water.
Yeah, you got to put your stuff away.
You put your stuff away,
Yeah.
and that's like the first thing.
Load
they
up your
started-
cubby and get ready to go.
And I remember when Tommy's first day, the teacher's like, "Oh no, let him," because I started doing it for him, like fucking every helicopter
Yeah.
mom did. Like I'm like, "Oh, here," and the teacher's like, "No, let him do it himself." I'm like, "What? He can't put his own water cup away? You crazy?" Like, I'm like,
He's
"It's
only a child.
yeah, I'm doing this shit. I'm
a baby.
hysterical mom, I'm like, he's not a baby. He can't put his folder in the thing. Like,
You are. All you talk about is making your kids tougher, and then
No,
you
but that's
freak
how it
out about
works.
stuff
That's
like
how it
this.
works.
yeah, because in my mind, he's young
It's
baby Tommy.
the epitome of I got to quit smoking. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
die
yeah.
of lung cancer.
So-
it's like
So what's funny is that on Max's first day of pre-K, I'm dropping Tommy started kindergarten a week before, so we're busy, whatever. I go up there and I see all the moms and everybody and the dads too doing the same shit, like, oh, and then Max just walks up there. I'm standing in the back.
Max
not
gives
even
you the
watching-
deuces. He's like, later, fucker.
but
like he's the coolest dude.
Vile man.
And then I'm like, man, I'm treating him differently because I'm already used to it, and
also he was used to it, so
It's
he
true.
kind of knew what to do.
I like the idea of Max hops it because he's so much like because they're so different, the two guys. But Max, he's like, hop out of the car, looks at you. You're like, so remember, and he's like, suck a dick, and he's like, in. He's like, he's marching
Did you
down the
see
hallway.
the picture that
Yeah,
Crystal
cool dude.
posted of him at the skating rink where
Got
he's
his arms up. Yeah,
out, leaning
cool
up
dude.
against the rail,
He's
like
like a
leg up.
fucking album cover.
Coolness is genetic, and I 100%. I'll bet anything. Like I've
He's
seen
like,
it.
He's like Tim a
Dude.
little bit. Tim was cool.
The difference between Max and his behavior and Tommy is Max was born with the cool gene.
He's cool.
Tommy was not.
Yeah,
It's,
you can
it's
see
nothing
it.
against him. It's just he was born this way. Like Max was walking around with his hands in his pockets down in the skating ring,
chilling.
like literally hands in his pockets, strolling. Tommy was bird in the roller skating, stick bugging it. I love him. He's just a nerd, he can't help it.
Yeah, dude, I married a fucking nerd,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Look, they
you're
all,
born that way.
Everybody has their place. Nobody's better than
So-
anybody else. But yeah, they are. Those guys could not be more different.
All right, so I got one last theory, and I'm sorry to rock
No,
up
I
through
like this. This is
Okay.
funny.
And
This is
tell me
funny.
if you agree with this. And
Now I
Fisher,
kind of want to go skating. You guys want to go skating?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fisher knows sports, so this kind of has to do with that. So in my son's elementary school, Tommy, They went to orientation, all that, and then I, meeting the teacher, shaking their hands or whatever, and his PE coach, he's like, "Hey, I shook his hand. I'm Coach Smith. I just say, I won't use his real name.
How you doing?
Yeah. So Coach Thompson, and then I'm like, "How you doing, Coach?" And then that got me thinking. I was like,
"Goddamn right, you called me coach."
Okay, so I mean, assume. And I may be wrong, but most elementary school teacher or coaches or PE coaches like go by the name of coach and the last name, right? Is that like that's per standard?
Yes.
So now, nothing against elementary school kids, elementary school coaches, but okay. So the moniker of coach, right? It's pretty wide range.
Yeah.
There's Coach Thompson, elementary school coach. And there's Coach Belichick. They bought you so now you're calling it.
There's been a bastardization of the name. I mean, there are fat ladies.
Nothing against. I'm saying it's a hard job.
There are fat ladies that give dieting advice to other fat ladies that call themselves a coach. There's a wide range of fucking coaches. It's all over the place. You want it standardized.
Well, I'm just saying, should there be some? Now I understand. Like to be an elementary school PE coach, you have to go through some sort of class. I don't know about that
because we had a coach that taught me driver's ed, and I'm virtually certain that he didn't have any credentials whatsoever. 100%. I think it was just a dumb old man that hung up by the school. He taught us how to drive, and then he gave a health class, and we're looking at videos, and he's like, "Don't let your vagina get like that."
Now before
he was all bumpy.
Now I was hoping to get because I know
it's a different time.
We have a couple. I know at least one BDM elementary school PE coach that I know, and I know of him because he used to be a college football player, and I played golf with him every year.
Well, that gives him a little more merit, right?
Well, playing
collegiate football, I feel like get you a tick on the box.
Well, my question is, so once you become an elementary school PE coach, is there any coaching actually going on here?
Yeah.
Or what I'm saying?
Yeah, they teach you how to play games.
So you wanted him to walk up and be like, "Hey, Tom, I'm babysitter Thompson."
Here's the thing: should there be some sort of differentiation from
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I got to go wipe some asses and clean up some pee-pee on the floor.
All I'm saying, I've called other men coach before, and Adrian Heath. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Adrian Heath has accomplished. He fucking played in the EPL for Christ's sake.
That's what I'm saying. Like coached Orlando City.
James O'Connor has more coaching degrees than almost any other coach in the MLS. Like that motherfucker has passed every FIFA test known to man, so I see that he has earned the title of coach.
When I was on the Orlando Predators, Jay Gruden was assisting at the time, and when he was bullying me, I would call him coach. He is now the coach of the Redskins, the NFL, the highest you can get. You know what I'm saying?
Are you equating it to like a captain, like a boat captain? You have to go through a certain level of training to achieve your captain's license.
And here's the thing. I know, any elementary school teacher, even elementary school PE coach, they're hard work, and this guy is nice as fuck, and my son loves him. And he has a hard job, and he does a good job, and so I'm not taking away anything. I'm just saying we throw around the word coach, the moniker of coach, pretty freely.
Is he rough around the edges a little bit? Because most of my coaches were like a little inappropriate.
No, not
because it's a different time, right?
Well, also it's elementary school. Yeah,
my elementary school coaches were very inappropriate.
My high school.
What the fuck? You having your period? Get the fuck to the office.
My 9th grade, I believe, said the N word one time. He at least said the S word as a derogatory term for Hispanics. I'm virtually certain.
Yeah, well, we had a coach
Southwest High School and. This would have been 96 or 7.
Yeah. Our coach would make us run, and if you smarted off to him, he'd be like, "You smell your ass! You smell your ass!"
In 6th grade, I had a PE coach tell me not to get AIDS or HIV. Don't sit on a bloody toilet. So.
Well, that's good. That's just good.
That's good sound advice.
Write that down, Sam.
Hey, now here's the thing: if you are
don't sit on a bloody toilet.
If there's any elementary school PE coaches that want to call him, defend themselves, and then explain to me all the because maybe in dodgeball you're like, if you look at all the kids,
I don't think they play dodgeball anymore.
Yeah, you're right. It's too violent.
What do you mean?
What do they play? Yeah, they don't play
kickball.
And like, okay, kickball.
Soccer?
Do you organize? Okay, so
Shuttle run.
during kickball, do you organize the team based on coaching skills?
Yes.
Like you start like, hey, you're more of an outfield guy. Like you're a runner.
Yeah.
I know you are.
You might want to sit in the bleachers, Fatty. You know, like, yeah.
I've been just saying you're more of a blocker.
Yeah.
You got the body type of blocker.
Why don't you just draw a picture of what we're doing here?
all the tan kids get on this side. They're the ones that are going to be good. Like, are you doing any of that? If you are, then okay, I'm more leaning towards coach.
You could go over there too. You're more like a Wes Walker.
You guys are the blockers, and you're a coach. A couple coaches in here and blockers, and that's it.
Our kids do weeks of a specific individual team sport. So they will play soccer for a couple weeks, they'll play volleyball for a couple weeks, they'll play basketball. But I think you do make a good point too, because if that PE coach is not the coach of the organized competitive sports, if he's not the volleyball coach, our teachers, we say Mr., Mrs. If this person is not in any type of coaching role for the competitive
team,
like you're playing against other schools.
I don't know. I disagree.
But I get his point of what he's saying.
It's just, what are you coaching?
Yeah,
they're teaching the kids how to play these sports.
And our coaches
these kids going
do
into
that.
elementary school, a lot of them never even played the sport.
Right.
Maisie has a soccer coach, and because she's in a little soccer program, and his name's I won't say his name, but he's really good. But he does traditional coaching things that I really like. Like because we watched one day, and he'll walk out there and he'll line all the kids up, and there's like a lot of structure, and he lines them all up, and he's like, "All right, guys, today's word, and for this week, we're going to be learning about honesty." And he does like that, and he teaches them like some big.
Yeah.
He always gives them like an empowerment word, like it's honesty. What was the other one that he did? Oh God, I can't remember. But it's like, think of like virtues.
Yeah.
You know, and he lines up all of these, and he'll like give them one of those, and then he'll teach it, and then he makes you play, and then he does the word at the end of the thing and makes everybody talk about it.
But that's a coach of a team sport.
Yeah. He's like a real coach.
Yeah. Now, probably I should know something of what's going on with my kids' school. I have no idea. Like I just
Hey man, you're in the PTA now, right? You gotta get more involved.
I just stand around.
Are you going to be on the board or be a president or something like that? Are you going to like?
No. I did.
Did you bring a drink when you came there?
Did
you bring
to
a Yeti cup with a little booze in it?
I did talk to another mom that in Tommy's class.
Well, that's alluding to you being a mom.
He's helicopter mom.
Oh, okay.
And
Helicopter Tom.
We got into what we did for a living, and then they were saying that they wanted to like do some sort of like podcast in the school. I was like, I'll help you with that.
What about somebody's live podcast? Here's the fun. Your wife's like,
you want to monetize this? I know that. Yeah. Anyway, so I did offers, and we exchanged numbers. And,
whoa! Hot tub party.
No, it's just about.
You want Dave Jackson's podcast?
I like the idea of your wife comes over and you're like, what do you mean? We're in the hot tub. I'm just giving her some podcast coaching. Dude, tell her
podcast coaching.
Tell her how to monetize these numbers.
Coach Tom.
I'm Coach Tom, a goddamn podcast coach.
When I was in elementary school, we had, I think her name was Miss Thomas. I'm not sure. But she
Thurman Thomas?
She was morbidly obese.
Oh,
Big black mama. I'm serious. And Kenwood Elementary. Back in the mid 80s, and she sat down, and all we did is we square danced. Remember, we had square dancing, and the
Virginia reel. We did that a few times.
I never did the square dance.
We did square dancing, Virginia reel. We did Orff, which it's like basically a xylophone.
Yeah.
And you're playing that.
Yeah.
And did you guys do the stick dancing where you had the two PVC pipes and you go on the floor? It was like 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yeah, we did something like that.
And then you dance in it, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? It was like a traditional, I think it was like an African dance that we learned how to do. We had to like Junkanoo dance.
Huh.
Did you have the giant parachute?
Yeah.
They
They
do
gotta
that
run
with
across.
Maisie now.
Parachute game is the best day.
Yeah, they do parachute now with Maisie.
But
She loves it.
It was like, and then there was like a box ball or something. Anyway, she wasn't coaching jack shit. We
played
sitting there and to be like, go out there. We just ran around.
Go square dance.
So
like, what the fuck?
That's what it was.
we played Indian club dodgeball, which you
Excuse me?
couldn't
Not
get,
allowed to do that
you couldn't
now.
get away with
Oh,
that. But
you
it's
can't do
dodgeball, and then they have these. They look like little bowling pins, but they call them Indian clubs. And not only did you have to eliminate every person from the other team, you had to knock down the Indian clubs to win It's not.
I like the idea of a game
The
where it's
hell?
not only do we kill each other, we have to kill these Indians.
Yeah. Well, my PE coach, drunken guy, he made us play backwards kickball. You had to run backwards and kick the ball with your heel. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, drunk old man?
All right,
This is Jesus school.
Just standing back laughing at
you
people.
guys. Yeah.
while I enjoy this Bailey's, you guys are backwards kickball.
This Dravy Paul Randy.
Yeah, I like it. Want to take a little break, buddy?
Yeah, let's take a
All right,
break.
We're up against a break. Let's see. I got good music for you guys today. This is, name of the band is Rye. The name of the song is Work It Out. It's off of their Love EP. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time. What? That is the dreaded Laramie. The name of the song is Daffodils in Love. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler is here, but he is dressed as his alter ego. Travi Paul Randy. Chris Fisher from BYOCB Podcast is on news. Do you want to jump into what we...
Well, I think Travie Paul Randy's going to do the toast.
You want to do the... Yeah, we're going to do
yeah.
the toast.
What we're
Let's do
doing.
the toast. This is kind of I don't want to make this too much of a downer, but we did lose a BDM this week, and his cousin reached out to us. And anytime we lose somebody that is connected to our community, we take that very, very, very much to heart. Because we love you guys, and I know sometimes we say that a lot, and I know that sometimes that can seem redundant or maybe in some way superficial or something. I don't know.
Insincere.
Insincere. But believe me when I tell you how genuine it is. And this one is for Matthew.
Yeah, and he actually made some songs for our show. We played it at the beginning.
Yeah, we peppered him
And,
into the show today as kind of a tribute to him.
And he made some really good songs, and he supported us. So Matthew, here's to you.
Yes, sir.
Cheers. And thank you for
And cheers to your family.
everything.
We're
Yeah.
thinking about you guys, and please let us know if there's anything we can do. Ooh, that's delicious.
They also, I know his family wanted us to remind everybody to, if you got sleep apnea or
Yeah.
it's like snore crazy at night, just go see a doctor and try to fix that.
Please
because
get that checked out. Please.
It's super dangerous.
It absolutely is. So, let's move on. Here
Daniel
we go.
got high and created a game. Daniel got high and created a game. Daniel got high and created a game.
This is one of your favorites, Tom. It's called Tom Interprets Dan's Dream.
Oh, God.
Who's porking? All right. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
So last night, not only did my wife have a nightmare about a school shooting. Wow, we're really going to bring the show down. In
No
my
Joke Fridays, guys.
in my dream, I owned a pirate ship.
Okay. All right.
I
All
like
right.
where this is going.
So I want you to analyze this for me.
All right.
So I owned a pirate ship. On this pirate ship, I was the captain, and we had a monkey.
All right.
And this monkey was sort of like the mascot of the ship. And we seem to be sailing in a world, it's completely black. So just think like Pirates of the Caribbean. I know that's twice I've used the
Got
reference
pirates
today.
on the brain.
I do. It's because of the dream. So we're sailing dark seas, almost not quite like pitch black, but just think like twilight. And we're sailing, and my monkey sidekick is running around, and we're jolly sailors, and we're singing. And the monkey jumps off of the side of the boat
Okay.
into the water. My crew and myself arguably are incensed. We're angry, and we're like, oh my God, our monkey, and I don't know have his name.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Our monkey jumped off the side. We throw the nets overboard. So I'm like, hoist the nets, and the nets go down. And when we pull the monkey back up, it's Isley, my dog.
Oh,
And
Isley.
he jumps into my arms, and I hug him, and the monkey had turned into my dog Isley, and then we snuggled, and I fell asleep, and then somebody on the boat stole my pants.
All right. Got it. So you're dreaming that you're a pirate because pirates are notoriously rapist and borderline pedophile. Right? Not that you are that.
Hold
I'm just saying there's a horniness involved into pirates. Now, not because dreams are weird. So I'm not saying
I'm
that.
not sure I like being called a borderline rapist is not a good look.
I'm just saying that's what pirates were. Let's be honest, and that's
And
historically.
alcoholics,
That's
yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, historically
Well,
accurate.
I mean that one. Okay,
They had rape and pillage.
That
and
one nailed it. But
They had cabin boys that were underage that they would have
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
with.
That's true.
Pedophile. Anyway, so your horniness has chosen a pirate as your fantasy life in your dream. All right.
Okay.
So you're going down now. Your pet monkey is me, and
Ooh.
he's your partner, and he's jumping crazy, going around. Forget to take his Adderall.
He's jumping ship on the podcast.
So, and your crew is you're sailing at night because
Well,
you're.
Samantha wasn't there. Butler wasn't there. Fisher wasn't there. Nobody like.
Well, the crew is in your mind
metaphorically.
Yeah.
metaphorically there.
100% Butler stole your pants.
well, somebody.
Steering
That's
you in
when
the
I
wrong
woke
direc-
up. When somebody stole my pants, I woke up.
Let's just say the guy supposed to be rowing is wearing a mullet and
Yeah,
blades
do
and
it.
was a joke.
Yeah, there's
got nothing to do.
In no other company would you say, "Hey, our sales guy's doing a bit."
Yeah.
Nobody would ever say that.
And the most responsible member of your crew has bailed because you
Not even
realized
on the boat.
Wait, you're the responsible one?
No, you are.
No, you
yeah.
weren't even on the boat.
Well,
Yeah. I never got on.
Well, even if you were, you've realized this is all for naught.
A lot of
and
pirates gonna rape me. I'm getting off this ship.
And no matter what you suggest,
wouldn't rape
nobody
you.
listens to you, and so you're just like, "Oh fuck it, we're sailing at night."
She didn't even
The
get on
monkey-
board. I was like, "Hey, we're pulling out." She's like, "I'll wait on shore."
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
like,
get the
"All right,
next
bye."
one.
Yeah,
Here we go, yeah.
So
See you
anyway,
in a few months.
your monkey, who is in your mind me, jump ship,
Okay.
right? Because he
sees the writing
all
on the
over
wall.
the place,
Right.
And then but
So I hoist the nets.
now I'm jumping ship not because I think it's better. It's because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I'm crazy with misinformation and bumbling and
Okay. All right.
Sprinkling the too many White Claws.
Yeah.
That's where
yeah,
it'll
look,
eventually be a
yeah,
problem.
we all do that.
But
So
then you
how
throw
do
in a
you-
net.
Okay, throw a net to save
Save me,
All right.
which will eventually, you'll be doing an intervention with me or some sort of thing in the future. It'll be like, listen, you're manic, you're too many ideas, your nose is redder than ever.
Is this all getting to the point where I realize that you're no better than my dog?
No, but after you
Punch this
save
mic
me,
away.
then I turn, instead of a frantic monkey jumping around,
Yeah.
jumping a ship, I turn into Isley.
Who
after
eventually
you
got
save me.
nose cancer. Couldn't
Red
breathe.
nose.
And then we had to put him down.
And then I get better after you save me, and then I'm with you. To
And
the
you're
end.
loyal.
Loyal.
Oh,
there,
because
there,
Isley
there.
was the most
After
loyal.
you saved me, yeah,
he
yeah,
was the
so
best.
there,
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's the idea.
Not bad. Hey,
But there's no saving me.
I know you hate. I know you hate that, but
Can't catch me.
I wrote that one down. I appreciate you going through
I
it.
had a weird dream last night. Maybe you can interpret mine.
All right, hey, throw another one
Mine
on
was-
deck.
This one's
Also-
gonna go a different direction.
Pirate,
Also weirdly Disney related.
pirate,
All right.
monkey,
No.
rapist.
No. You know what LARPing is, right?
Oh,
It's when nerds dress up like medieval characters and like
They
It
whack
could,
each
be
other.
any
Fight.
kind of character, but
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So mine was at Fort Wilderness for some reason. I was there and I was
Right.
watching this tournament go on, and it was drunk ass dads that were in regular clothes but like running through the woods of Fort Wilderness, and the Star Wars characters were chasing them and trying to kill them.
Oh, all right.
Ooh.
All right. So you were watching this, or you were part of it?
I was just watching it,
Okay, so-
spectating.
So you're watching drunk dads.
I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh
at
wait!
first.
Oh wait a minute! That's just you here at the studio. You're watching drunk dads. And you don't know what's going on, and our whole career should be called Fort Wilderness.
Oh, I got it. So what you're thinking about is that new Star Wars
Galaxy's
area,
Edge.
Galaxy's
Yeah.
Edge is opening in the place that you love. And you're worried about all the nerds that are going to,
Fuck you, EJ.
descend upon this place that you love, thus scaring away just by their vast quantity of humanity. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
They're pushing out all the
Don't say push it out.
all the nerd dads in which you and Travis and your crew enjoy going to Disney World. The nerds are pushing you guys
Yeah,
out.
they're killing us, the alcoholics that just like to wander around Disney.
Can't get
You know
fast
what?
passes.
That's probably
this,
spot
right?
on.
That's actually like mine.
You know, I hate Dream so much, but great.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
That one I like.
It's
This is like me with describing what person should do what job.
Yeah, it's like the when you see that big, like 6'8" dude that would be a perfect fucking NBA player.
We saw one today in Publix, me and Butler, but he was a doctor.
Yeah, but he works in a different percentage.
no, he had a surgeon.
You're big for nothing. No, why are you the manager of Publix? You need to be in the NBA.
No, this guy must have done something because this motherfucker was 6'8",
Easy.
jacked, but he was in full surgeon scrubs with a badge, like he was going to like cut somebody open.
Yeah.
But this dude and tatted up,
Half
like,
sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah,
his bicep was the size of my fucking quad.
Yeah,
Where was he?
Right.
I didn't get to see
Now,
him.
you'd have liked him, Sam.
But the thing is, he
would
chose-
have been a match for you
It
because
wasn't
like
at Publix when I went
he's
there.
like the only guy that could like literally like full head length looked over your head.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the dude was a goddamn mega giant.
Adonis.
Yeah, he was ripped.
Yeah, but at least he chose doctor there, longevity.
People like that
better
make-
than sports.
People like that make me sick because you could tell that he was a collegiate athlete and maybe even had to think. He had to weigh his options and go, well, do I want to go pro or do I want to, I'm so smart, do I want to be a surgeon? That can fuck you.
Well,
You know, like you can do everything.
But you can tell he was level-headed because we all had a good laugh of our feminine product.
Yeah, because some lady left 2 bags.
that's the sports side of him.
Yeah.
He'd been in a locker room. He's like, I had his locker room. talk.
We walked over there, and so Surgeon Adonis is standing there, right? And so he's in line, and then I'm next, and then Travis, and then so there was 2 bags.
Haunted House Butler, by the way, too.
Yeah, Haunted House. It was our friend Haunted House Butler. So there
So
were
nice.
2 bags of cheesy poofs and a small square of always feminine napkins. And it was there, but it like kept going down the thing, and so I thought it was the surgeon's. But he was like, he looked at me, he's like, hey, that's not mine, you know, like kind of a thing. And I'm like, and he's like, you might want to keep moving that back because the lady that was here ran away to get something
No,
else.
I do that all the time.
No, it's so fucking rude.
Oh, I hate that shit.
I mean, Fisher, I felt sure you'd want to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
Take your shit off the conveyor
Yeah.
belt if you're not in line.
If you're not ready, get the
so
fuck
I
out.
took her poofs and I put him to the side, and then begrudgingly I squish grabbed the brick of always, and everybody fucking laughed at Daniel for grabbing. The doctor laughed, the surgeon laughed, everybody lied. Haunted House Butlers, everybody's fucking laughing at me because I had to move them, and then I go, and then I tried to make a joke. I was like, "Wow, these are some weird looking napkins," and people laughed a little bit, but everybody got a big hoot out of it.
Have you noticed that
So dumb.
if you're in public and you see someone who people automatically assume if you see a black ripped man 6'6", 6'7", that he is an athlete of some sort.
Yeah.
And Orlando especially because now with NXT here and based out of here.
Yeah.
Because we have a couple that we hang out with, we go out to dinner with, and the husband is long dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Jacked. And every time we're at dinner, people come up and say, "Do you play? Don't you play for the Atlanta Falcons?"
Yeah, it's
Oh,
here's
wow.
the
So
it's,
they're just-
stereotyping.
it's racist
Yeah.
and
It is
non-racist.
racist,
yeah.
But here's the thing. But like here, like when you see someone that's an obvious like athlete specimen, you're like, holy shit! Like
Get that all the time.
Yeah, like.
But people will do that shit even if you're just tall. Because I get that all the time. Did you used to play basketball? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And we
I
fuck-
get that all the time too.
We fucked with him too because we said it was Asante Samuel, the cornerback. We're like, yeah, that's Asante Samuel. They got their picture taken with him and autographed
yeah,
everything just to
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
with
That's
him.
good. You got to go along with
What
it.
does he do for a living?
He's engineer.
Oh yeah, there's that. It's exactly. It's now those. It's when you see like awesome athletic dudes like doing something under their potential. That's when you're like, you ruined it. Butler, I've never looked at you once and be like, this guy's a real fucking athlete.
Especially not today.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dude, you gotta go. You gotta swim some laps with that mullet.
You're
ruining your wife's
Do you want to jump to news?
yes. Now before we talk news,
Okay.
Chris Fisher went to the podcast movement, which we talked a lot of shit about, obviously.
Well, I
on the
mean,
show.
like, I want to deep dive, and we didn't talk a lot of shit because we know for a fact that the event was not good. We talked a lot of shit because Jared from Podcast Movement was a dickhead when I emailed him.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a fact.
I talked some shit in the fall as as far as like I didn't believe that the $400, $500, $600 ticket was justified.
Well,
for what
$289.
That's damn near $300. Plus,
Well,
you got to pay for parking.
They did it again too because I got an email from them, and I just wanted to point this out because this is the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. They said, hey, if you were there and you wanted all of the sessions because we filmed them, it's $150, whatever it was. It's like, it's $150. You better get it now because tonight at midnight, it doubles in price. And I'm like, fuck you.
I was
He
talking
didn't pirate that
shit
shit.
because it seemed like a money grab.
Yeah, but why does everything have to go up in price, Jared? Why can't you just make it was like when Ideal Image, and their product is phenomenal. I'll just say that. Ideal Image laser hair removal, phenomenal. But there is a problem in my mind when you say, ask us about this coupon that'll get you 50% off. Just price it right. So you don't have to do that money grab of 50% off or whatever. Just give me the regular price, and then you don't have to do that. So just find a price. Apparently $150 is not enough. All right, then price it at $200 and say we're going to keep it here. Why do you have to make everything go up at midnight?
Why
does it
sales gimmicks?
But it drives me insane because do you know how bad that looks?
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
Well, it sells some goddamn videos. That's what
Not
it
to
does.
me, it didn't. It turns me off.
yeah.
I just delete.
Well,
So-
I do think that you guys, I mean, because there was correspondence back and forth, there was some justification of, the dialogue might not have been as professional as what you were expecting. But what I all of a sudden became the poster boy for pro podcast movement because you
took that role on.
No, you got the people that pile on though who have no clue what they're talking about. They hear you guys talking about it, and all of a sudden they're the experts. They know they know everything that happens at the conference. They did no research, didn't go to the website, didn't look up anything. So because of the fact that I had the opportunity, I could afford to go. I'm lucky enough that I'm able to do that and can work it out with real life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Richard and Tom.
And I wanted to experience it because then I could say, yeah, the event was shit, or it was
You
good,
got something out
and it
of
was
it.
local, and I didn't have to fly, I didn't have to pay for a hotel, I could go back and forth. So that was my whole justification for going. Plus, I'm in an industry, and I like to continue to learn about
Of course,
that.
yeah.
So
now, Chris,
Yeah, I'm really glad you went because I wanted to go. But there would have been no way for any of us to go. A, too expensive. We would have to buy, $280 ticket for 5 of us. And then B, we had to do shows.
See, I don't even know why you'd want to go because I just assume that I'm not saying we know everything about everything.
To
but
network, look at new products, to see other podcasts. I don't know. I just like the industry. I'd like to be
I
there.
think that's exactly the reason that I wanted to go. But I'm not running your guys' business, but you could have had 1 or 2 from the show because of the different tracks. My problem was that I was the only one from my show who went. So there were classes going on at the same time that I wanted to be in another
you
one,
would've
but
split up,
so I had to
yeah.
make decisions before going into it. And some of them I really wanted to walk out because after day 2 I figured out that if you go to sessions that are taught by people in the industry as far as that are trying to sell you something, like they promote advertising on podcasts, don't go to those sessions. You want to go to the sessions that are taught by podcasters who actually know things and aren't trying to say, the best thing to do is go get a Casper mattress ad.
Right.
So the ones that were taught by outside of Patreon, the ones that actually were podcasters, I had the most knowledge gained from that and learned a couple things and some tips that we're already doing for our show.
Yeah, now that's another thing I wanted to ask you about. Now here's the thing, because like you going, I understand, and it's like, okay, Chris, you make enough money where the ticket price is you're not extending yourself too far buying that ticket. You're fine with it. So, and you run a mid-level. And the thing is, we run a mid-level podcast too. It's like because we know the tiers now. We see like the big ones, and we all consume mid-level.
Yeah, we are not a massive podcast.
And so you have a lot more to gain than what I was kind of talking shit about. Is like the guy that was just looking to get into it and had stars in his eyes and was like, if I buy this ticket, they'll show me this secret that I'm like I can't find.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was railing against. Like, hey, it's not going to be a fucking secret. Like this is just to fine tune what you already know. Like, it's not going to help the newbie, the greenhorn that just wants to get into podcasts. You need to get in there and hustle for a couple years before this will even help you out.
Yeah, you're
You agree with
100%
that?
right. And there were people that were there that didn't even have a podcast, they were thinking about starting a podcast, I don't understand why you'd spend money if you're not doing it or you've tried it.
That's a good point.
I don't understand the attraction of, I think I want to start a podcast because everyone else is doing it.
So let me buy a 200.
Yeah, and I met more people that I just talked to through some of the networking that I introduced to other shows in Central Florida, because I met a guy from Orlando who did Rollins Radio the last day that I was there. Did Rollins Radio, does a hip-hop show. I'd never heard of his podcast in Orlando. I said, I have a friend, his name's Steezy. He does a podcast, Steezy's Trap House. You guys are into hip-hop. You do this beats thing. You follow him on Instagram, and you guys connect. And that was the best thing to me, was be able to talk to other people, meet people from other states,
and
ask
put
them
all
how
together.
and ask how podcasting is there. Do you have a strong local community of podcasting in Cleveland, Ohio? And the answer, no, we don't have anything. And I thought that was pretty cool, because Daniel's been saying this for a long time, is that Orlando is huge when it comes to the local podcasting community. And that was evidence to me right there that it doesn't exist in some of these other larger markets.
Even like giant markets.
I kind of expected, and this is on me. I place this fully on me. I kind of expected, when I did reach out and say, like, hey, is there anything you can do for local podcasters that want to do it, but like give us a break, because I want to be a part of it, but like it would be incredibly expensive for me to take, because I wouldn't want to do it unless all of us could go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just go there by myself. I mean, because there's stuff for everybody to learn. There's business stuff that you want to do. There's
I know more than everybody else.
Yeah, I don't.
Thank you, Coach Tom.
From a sales,
Tom could have been a speaker there.
Well, he would have. I think he would have. And you kind
Coach
of.
Tom,
you had some kind of strong opinions about the local aspect or
Correct.
local. I'll let you.
So I pitched an idea to Daniel, because really, if you guys are going to go, I would think that you guys need to speak. And there were podcasters there.
I threw that out there to Jared, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything. I would have loved to have done that.
I'm not. No, here's the. I disagree. I do not want to do that, because I'm not gonna fucking make you money being your fucking professor.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. Like, this is making you how much money? Be transparent with that. $200,000. Like, are you profiting $200,000 on this?
Too.
Fuck that. I'm not working for free. I've done that shit with big corporations before, where they're like, hey, go jump this shit. Work for free for as long as you can. And so I'm not making anybody else rich. That's all I'm saying. I'm fucking done with that game. So now, if you want to pay me, I don't know. How much money are you making? $200,000? You pay me $10,000 to come fucking speak at your shit. So I'm just saying.
Coach Thomas goes hard.
Maybe if you're making less. I'm just saying that I'm not doing that shit for free.
Well, can I spin another angle with that, though, is that there are people.
I'll teach anybody. I'll do that shit for free from here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And we help people out, and Daniel helps people out that email all the time. But you would get more exposure there with all these people who would come and see you guys speak, that it would be an added benefit eventually for your show.
Yeah.
So I went to this Patreon session before it even officially kicked off. And we have a Patreon model for our show. Samantha has a Patreon model for her show. You guys have the BDM model.
Yeah.
It's those hardcore people who listen to your show that want to give money to support what you're doing, and then maybe there's an added bonus for that. And we've realized that we haven't been very good when it comes to Patreon, and I'll admit that, because we all work different jobs. Our show we have families, and it's hard to put out additional content. But there are little things that I learned about through Patreon that I didn't realize that we were able to do. An app that you can send video, messages, thanking
tips and tricks,
all that stuff. And then I started, brainstorming things for when we have our 5-year anniversary. This is how I want to set it up next year, and this is what I want to do for our patrons. So that helped, I think. Even the cost of the ticket for me, I think, is going to pay bigger dividends. The fact that I believe that we'll retain the people who are patrons for our show, and I think we can start adding some additional ones just based on some of those ideas. So that was, I think, of all the things there, that was the biggest benefit for me, and talking to the other podcasters and asking them questions and coaching them and helping them out and trying to push other shows on them.
Coach Fisher.
Cool. Well, after the show,
it's coach on coach.
I'll get all the stuff you've learned for free, and then we'll benefit off of it.
But Tom,
that's how you do it.
I had you on when you were sober on the cruise the one time.
That wasn't a thing.
And we talked
Snoop Dogg tapes.
I don't remember that.
But you talk business, podcast business. And
What?
I was only.
You gave out all the secrets.
You gave out all the secrets
doesn't
already.
sound like me.
Then you did like a whole 30-minute rant on dicks, right? Didn't you do like a dick?
And black people peeing in pools.
Yeah, black people peeing in pools.
The dicks rant wasn't recorded. That was extra.
Yeah, that was live. Yeah.
That was live extra
Had to be
content.
there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to be a DDM for.
But yeah, when you got a couple claws in you, you'll sit there and you'll talk to somebody for 45 minutes about you got 100 people and 100 people just do what you tell them to do, and you'll make $1,000 a month.
So you get 100 people, you get 200 people.
There
you
was
get 200 people, you get 300 people.
By the way,
you get 300 people,
Yeah.
you get 400 people. You get 400 people, you get 500 people.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. By the way, I hope everybody realizes.
That's not true.
But
Don't say that.
You do.
I
but
look
you-
at people's eyes. They're like, "Oh shit, they're believing me."
No, you do it, but you do know what you're talking about. But there is a point where your eyes glass over and you go into like ultimate beautiful mind where you're using a Sharpie to write on the walls of your apartment, and
But
it's weird.
the thing that was missing, and what you guys I think did this first, is you focused on the local advertising model. And that was completely missing. There was not a single session.
Well,
I
thanks
went to
a lot,
one.
Jared. I asked you to.
I went
do
to
it.
one that was supposed to be about community and was for people from this podcast company that were trying to sell you. If you're not Joe Rogan or these big podcasts, you're not going to get Bowl and Brand sheets. You're not going to sell boner pill ads.
Yeah.
You have to focus on the local model, and it works.
But even if you are, it's a CPM model, and the fact that they'll pay you per 1,000 downloads. So they'll give you like, all right, here's $4 for every 1,000 download. And 3 months, whatever you accrue, then we'll pay you based on that.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I mean, even the mid-level podcast now, like a couple thousand downloads, which is big. But so where you're making $8,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you had 5,000 downloads, that's good nowadays. And someone's gonna pay you $50 for a commercial. You're not gonna make a living doing that shit. But if you have 5,000 downloads, I can point you in the direction of many businesses that will pay you good money to advertise. Because if you can get a fucking 10% of that in someone's bar, restaurant, or whatever, then that's worth big money for a lot of local
absolutely.
businesses.
And I mean, with 750,000,
Your biceps just poof. They're like whoa.
I know people are tired of
the
it.
750,000 podcasts, and half of those are getting 130-ish and less downloads per episode, and you're in a session where they're trying to sell you boner pill. You can get a boner pill ad with us, and they're going to
Little
take.
Lamb BDM just gave you 1,000 teal diamonds.
They're going to take
All
90-some%. See, look, it works. There you go.
So anyway, listen, as much as we talk shit, that's kind of where we ramp down. Believe me, I I wanted to do like this whole podcast. In fact, we should do it before the end of the year. We should get a lot of local podcasts
Maybe
together.
we'll do it next year. We got a lot of shit
Yeah,
going
we
on
do.
right
We're trying
now.
to squeeze everything in.
Don't go crazy.
Our
buddy.
West Coast trip.
Only
I mean,
a podcast, not a live thing like we wanted to do, but like just a
we'll
podcast.
okay.
Well, we can just do it as a podcast.
Yeah.
No, I'm charging $300 now.
Yeah, I think you
Fuck
should.
that.
Well, you have a
'Cause
lot
I'll-
of knowledge, like we've swapped stories before, and you know exactly what you're doing, and you have a successful show. So
Because we'll give it all out for free, and I know for a fact that Chris will and Samantha will and every podcaster in Orlando will.
I don't know nothing.
Well, you do. That's the
you
thing.
do.
And it's
You know more than a lot.
It's not fucking rocket science. That's the thing, is I understand that going to this, they're trying to sell you a bunch. Some of the things they're trying to sell you on this dream.
Yeah.
You just
There it is. I like. I listened to you respectfully,
Sure.
and now you're turning your
This
own.
is from our,
but I know. What
But
you're
I'm
saying.
smart enough to understand the sessions that would be beneficial for me.
Of course.
this
You
is from our
just have to
Twitch
hustle.
chat room.
Yeah, that's it.
Swervy Jones says, "Don't listen to Tom. He told me he would send us some advertisers. I've never heard from him or anything about it."
I'm sorry, Swervy. Don't get enough downloads. I'm sorry.
There is.
Wow, this motherfucker.
Do you know how many downloads?
No, I'm just joking. God damn.
No joke Fridays.
I'm sorry.
There is a another convention that is a competition, I believe, to Podcast Movement. It is based out of Orlando, and it happens in March, and it's over a weekend.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
let's
go to
go to
that
that.
one. Yeah,
and
we can do that.
I started
one.
doing some research on that one, and I mean,
What's that one called? Like
Podcast Expo, or I have to look it up
Wow,
again.
good
Something
name,
like I don't know.
guys.
It's podcast
Good.
something, but I think it's in March in somewhere in Orlando. But
I hope it's at Will's Pub.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's legit.
Podfest Multimedia Expo.
there you go.
All right, Podfest. I know Libsyn will be there. You can't do that, Butler. You can't tap the thing. Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna go.
The-
excuse me. I should have used your alter.
Yeah.
The thing is, the expos are the new beer fests. Because
Yeah.
it's like when something's hot. I remember the beer fest. That's why we have a free one now, because we saw it and we were like, man, this someone's winning a whole lot, and a lot of people are not winning at all.
Losing a lot.
Yeah. So anyway,
You want to do some news, buddy?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna have to boof. I haven't air boofed in a long time.
Who's news brought to us by today, Tom?
News brought to you by Tuffy's Bottle Shop in Sanford. We're going to be out there tomorrow. I know BYOCB is going to be out there. Chris
I will
Fisher,
be there.
Our CBE craft beer enthusiast group, a BDM craft beer enthusiasts are going to be out there as well. And I figured I got my game now. So I will, for 1 hour only, challenge anybody to shuffleboard, because they got that big bar shuffleboard, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the game, because I'm not just giving you something for free.
Load for loads?
Do
load for load.
It's a
That's good.
like either doing your laundry
So you're
or divorce.
you're either doing a listener's laundry or the listener's giving you a blowjob.
Yeah, I'll give you a tiki bar gibber.
So like I'm like, where's Tom? And then somebody's like, yeah, one of your listeners is blowing him because
I'm like, we got to go to the deep freezer because it's not going to be pretty.
Not the deep
This
freezer.
would be
Go to the suffering bastard.
Tully is a big beard. Like, your beard hurts my dick. Sorry. Anyway. My idea is
Your beard hurts my dick.
you pick a piece of merch off.
pick a pizza match. Hey, everybody, it's me, Tommy.
You pick a piece of merch off the website, and then we'll play. And if you lose, you have to buy that piece of merch in front of me. And if you win, I'll send an email to Eric and your address, and he'll send it to you for free. So whatever, maybe you want the straw hat, maybe so you got to pick what is most expensive.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah. So you have something on line. We have anyway. Toughies
that.
tomorrow. And
Well, you got really high last night. That's a good idea.
Tap list is awesome for tomorrow. I'd let the BDMCB group know.
Yeah, I saw that. It's really good.
Lots of local beers on tap tomorrow, so it should be a great time.
Which one is first? Is it that
So,
one or-
we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
I can go to that one. But I have 5 total news stories. What I did was I hand selected one each for each individual member of the cast. I didn't get Travie, Paul, Randy. So
Travie,
you have to channel. You have to channel Butler on that
I
one.
have a story for Travie Paul Randy. That video I sent you yesterday. If you want to find that,
Which one is that?
the song.
Resend it for me.
Okay.
So I've
Just in
got
case.
4 of those, and then one for all of us. So we'll start.
right.
We'll start with this. The last time I was here, I believe when I did the news, I talked about the Axl Rose getting pissed off at Oscar Blues.
I got it.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole cease and
Guns and
desist with the
Rosé.
Guns and Rosé beer. So they have now settled that lawsuit over the Guns and Rosé beer. They didn't announce what the actual agreement was. However, we do know through mutual friends, someone who listens to the show has a family member who has a connection there with Oscar Blues, and they've actually rebranded it. It's now Rosé and Days, or Rosé 4 Days, I believe, is the new name of it.
Okay.
So
Guns N' Rosé is still being sold in Colorado. I was out there.
Yeah, but
just
it's
about a month ago.
leftover stock.
yeah, it's all the leftover stuff. So they've actually already rebranded it or pushing it out as something else. But this is a trend in the industry that's starting through craft beer, where people are starting to come after these breweries for copyright infringement for the brands. So there's other brands, Lagunitas, Rogue Brewing, Sierra Nevada, Stone have also been in trademark lawsuits, either as plaintiffs or defendants, as the swelling ranks of breweries make it tougher to come up with new ways to sell beer. That's the big thing, is that there's so many small breweries, big breweries, that you got to come up with a name for the beer, which has to get approved. Then you have to have the branding for the beer. And a lot of the trend in the industry to make your beer stand out has gone towards using a label
It's
that
a
is
look at me
very
technique,
similar
yeah.
to Fruity Pebbles or a
like
branding that everyone
Yeah, and
knows.
it's funny because I think Fisher and I, we were discussing this. Was it on the BYOCB page?
Yes, on our group,
and I
yeah.
think we actually disagreed because my take was, well, this is no different than what skateboard decks or skateboard culture has been doing for forever. You take a popular brand, you bastardize it, screw it up a little
Parody.
bit. You parody it to bring a little bit of love to your brand because you're the little guy and you're independent.
Yeah,
no pun intended with the skateboard reference
you
there.
attach yourself to a powerful brand that people can relate to,
and
or
you
just
fuck
know.
with it a little bit.
Yeah, you fuck with it, but then also you get that brand's power by you basically.
But I see what you're saying because
attaching yourself to
you
it.
don't want the brands that have enough money to do that and fight it to rise to the top when there could be better beer available.
Sure.
That was kind of what you guys were saying, right? Like a little bit.
My point was that I don't want it to become a trend in the industry that all you see is gimmick-based beer labels or names because everyone has to come up with something to stand out because there's so much saturation in the market.
They've
Just like
flooded the
podcasts.
market.
You have to stand out as a podcast. I didn't learn that from
Oh
Dave
my-
Jackson, but
No,
I mean,
look,
'cause
they've
there's so
been
many.
saying about that. Like even Rob Walsh from, not to go back to the podcasting idea, but even Rob Walsh from Libsyn, he's the vice president of podcast relations, has been saying, take a look at your artwork and make sure that it appears to be the type of artwork that you think Apple Podcasts will like. Well, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I look at their top podcast and it varies so crazily that there's no way for me to dial that in. I mean, I guess if I really studied it, I could say, okay, well, maybe they just want like a simple picture on a bright map. Do you know what
it's
it is?
all fucking a picture and a damn fake microphone. All these people
Yeah,
who
I'm not
teach you
gonna
how to
do that.
podcast. It's
Yeah,
their
yeah.
picture and a freaking
I'm
microphone
not
with a
doing
cord.
that. Not doing it.
Well, it's basic business in the fact that all right, craft beer started, and at first when back in the day, it was like, oh, this is called an IPA. We're like, what? You're like Indian Pale Ale, like and then you're like, oh, this is spicy. It hurts my mouth. This is bitter. Ew, yucky. So that's where it started at, and now is a fucking 10 million IPAs, and everybody's got an IPA. I mean, there's probably 24 local breweries in Central Florida that have their own IPA, and so now when that's the reality of the market, then each IPA is like, whoa, this one had an interesting name or a pun about Stranger Things or whatever, and they sold the shit out of it. So then all of a sudden everybody starts gravitating towards gimmicks because that's gimmicks sell shit and marketing and like.
And I'm a sucker for that.
Here's the
shit
thing:
too,
Big
man.
Beer has been doing it forever. In the fact that there's no fucking difference between Miller Lite and Bud Light. It's the same shit. Like it's maybe your pop would be like.
You're
I'm
talking
only
about
in-
like drinkability, Vortex.
It's all marketing now
Now
because
one has corn, one has rice.
there's no difference really in the taste. Now, like your Uncle
I was
Randy,
a
maybe
fan of the Vortex bottle because when you poured that, it poured so well.
it's all Blue Mountains and
It
drinkability.
didn't.
Like that's the only thing that sells.
I did like the Blue Mountains too. 'Cause you put your thumb on it and heat up the mountains.
And to be honest now, there's a lot of good craft beers out there and good craft breweries, and they all do a good job. Let's be honest. Like every craft brewery that I know of in Orlando does a decent job brewing beer.
Okay, decent. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Now, some of your beer snobs or guys are your
some are better than others.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can say that.
But I'm Joe Average. Believe me, if I drink one IPA or the other, I'm pretty much gonna give them a close grade. I've never drank a beer that anybody's brought in and been like, oh, like this is fucking disgusting. It's always like, oh, okay, it's like, I guess hard for
and
me
then
to
there are
rate.
some that you really, really like.
Yeah, but like a lot of the times, the branding and shit gets influenced into my thought process. It'd be like, oh, this branding looks cool. Like maybe that even goes into it before you even taste it, and you give it a higher grade. It's a fucking taste the same as an IPA,
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. I don't want it to go all.
I love
gimmicky.
that. I mean, I think that's such an interesting topic, though, to think about that because just like anything, I mean, just like the standardization of podcasting downloads, smaller breweries are going to get cracked down on, and
that's my fear because now the big guy, I mean, the Lagunitas and Oscar Blues and Sierra Nevada, those are the ones that are having the lawsuits against them. But there's a beer in Florida that has a closer resemblance to Guns N' Roses, and they're able to sell their beer because
they're too small.
Yeah,
no one cares.
And they're
no one
big in
gives a fuck.
Florida, but they haven't expanded out to the rest of the U.S.
And that's you can get away with anything. Like honestly, Kramer tells me, he's like, don't do that, you'll get sued. I'm like, no, we fucking won't. We're not even on the radar. Like we're too small. Like we could basically do just about anything.
it would be a
and
good
no one's
sign,
gonna give
right?
If
that happened, it would be a good sign.
Yeah,
We'd be
yeah.
like, oh shit, we're getting bigger.
If we got a cease and desist from someone, I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't expect this. Like, we're way too small. Like, and we have a big podcast, but still, in the grand scheme of things, we're small. But you're right, all the big beer, and Oscar Blues, now you're fucking getting into the high mid-tier craft beers that are way bigger and more powerful than
the OGs.
Yeah,
and they're merged with Cigar City under Canarchy now, so it's that whole.
Yeah. Oh,
under the
it's
Canarchy.
big.
Yeah.
What a great name, right?
Talking to
Canarchy, I think that's legit.
Justin Clark is a gigantic deal in the beer industry. Yeah. I didn't realize how big that dude was.
Where is he right now? He's like in Amsterdam or
Yeah,
something,
he's
right?
in Norway brewing
Norway.
beer and eating, I think, reindeer barbecue.
Yeah, he got to the point where he's flying around in the Cigar City jet
Yeah.
I
that's what
was
you
like,
do.
oh, shit.
He's got his own Peloton
Kind
on
of
the jet.
embarrassed.
Yeah, shit's powered by fucking Highlight.
When are we getting the Tom and Dan joke?
Oh, God, calm down,
you
Mullet.
better
We're getting a Tom Dan
You
RV.
better, if you'll catch
The
it-
RV is out of my price range.
Oh
We
no! I
need
thought you said you had it.
Here's what I'm
did,
saying.
but
We need to get to work. If you
Oh,
want
no.
a fucking jet, you got to cut the mullet and put the glasses
We
away.
we got free quail eggs.
Yeah,
Great.
from a band that plays the same song on our show every fucking time they come in here.
Okay.
Supervillains are the Jeff Howe of reggae bands. I'm like, God damn, guys, drink it again, and then you're drinking last night the same fucking song. I've heard it 150 fucking times.
By the way, Supervillains will be out at Wall Street September 1st.
I didn't
Yeah.
say I didn't love them.
No,
I love
they're
them,
great.
but God damn it, guys, come
Hit
on.
me up if you want tickets.
They're
$10,
so
and you
stoned.
get a free White Claw. With
They're
your
so
ticket.
stoned they forget what they play on our show. They're like, well, should we do drinking tonight? Because I don't think they've heard that.
Next story.
Yep.
All right, so this one, Daniel, is specific for you. This was a little bit hard to find
Yes.
one geared towards you, but I do know, and you tell the stories a lot of times, that you like to go out to the Mexican restaurants with your family.
I went there last night, La Fiesta.
Okay.
I took my daughter's favorite restaurant. It's ridiculous.
It's great.
She requests it. She goes there. She says the salsa is not too spicy, and they don't put too much, quote, spinach in it. She doesn't know what cilantro is.
So this is a story, and I have a clip for you to play, Daniel. I've posted, if you're in the BDM Facebook group, there is a link to this restaurant's Facebook page where you can go and actually watch these commercials. So is that the... Yes. Okay, so...
Should I make it big?
Let me set this up. So this Mexican restaurant is bonkers. Bonkers Avengers commercial is the best thing you'll see today. So it's the combination of an enthusiastic restaurant owner, a Marvel supervillain, villain, and some deliberate but benign copyright infringement. So there is a Twitter feed that's called Going on a Journey, and they shared 51 seconds of pure magic with the rest of us. This is a real ad that a real restaurant in Mexico made, and the commercial begins with spoiler alert, and one of the final scenes is they actually just show Avengers Endgame, which is what it starts with.
Oh, this is in Mexico,
This
right?
is it's a Mexican restaurant in Mexico, and they make these crazy commercials, and they've now started to go viral. And this is the
Okay, here we go.
This is the first one.
Here it goes.
Yo soy inevitable. Y yo soy la que sabroso.
Yeah.
Thanos breaking it down.
So, okay, let me explain.
Hold on, that looks delicious. I will butt fuck that food, man.
Let me explain.
What is that?
Oh, they can't see it in the.
Oh, they
on
can't
Twitch.
see it?
So,
Okay, I'll fix it.
So basically, guys.
Sorry, guys, I'll fix it
It shows a clip from Avengers. Is that Endgame?
It's the end. Yeah.
Of Thanos. Well, that's his name, right? And he's doing.
Thanos.
he's
Here,
got
we'll
his
do
glove.
it. We'll do it one more time, just so they
Literally
can see it.
from the movie, and then it cuts to the owner, I guess, from the Mexican restaurant.
Zooms in crazy on his face, and he snaps his fingers, and then his restaurant explodes, and then Thanos is dancing on
Okay,
on his
here.
menu.
They should be able to see it again. We'll do it one more time.
All right, so the clip straight from the movie, literally.
Just ripped from like a bootleg copy.
Yeah. It's like filmed. He's snapping his finger, looking at his arm, I assume.
Y yo soy la que sabroso.
Man, they gotta work on their audio levels.
I love that
Hey,
Thanos is
hey,
like literally
hey.
Latin dances better than anyone I've ever seen.
Then they use CGI Latin dancing Thanos
He's like slow twerking.
dancing on the carne asada.
while they show pictures of their entrees. What I like about Mexico and what I've always
No rules.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, look at them carving this meat, man. Oh, and there's two Thanos dancing now. They're both breaking it down.
I wish
That is fantastic.
You know what? I got from living in Miami? I got a little bit of Mexico because Miami is not for obvious reasons, but it would be Cuba for obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
the Miami runs a lot like a country with no rules, where everybody's just kind of doing whatever they want, and everybody's above the law until they get arrested or whatever. But there's a lot of corruption and shit going on.
Yeah.
And Mexico is the ultimate. I'll do whatever the hell I want with no consequences. Like Could you imagine any business owner taking a clip from fucking Avengers and adding it to their TV commercial at the beginning? That's some balls. That means that motherfucker knew that nothing mattered.
No, I don't.
And what are they gonna do?
I don't think it's that, because I think if they came to media, immediately go like, we didn't know.
No, but here's the thing. They ran it through a TV station. The
I
TV
didn't mean
station.
to do. I also did Slowpoke Rodriguez there, which is very racist.
We didn't know that we shouldn't
You
with
have
panels.
you have something here, because I don't know if you saw, because you probably don't ever check anything you're tagged in
No.
on Facebook. But in the BDM group, I posted a picture. I went to
BDM Grope. Don't join
Don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, can't talk about it.
Orlando Weekly. Miami Grill I went to this past weekend, and their slogan on the bottom of their cup is "Everything Goes," which is what you said to the guy at my bachelorette party.
Oh my God!
It all ties together.
I'm sure.
No rules in Miami.
So this restaurant owner decided, he's like, you know what? I fucking like the Avengers, and I'll be the Thanos. Like, so he told his like nephew or whatever, knew some video editing skills. He's like, take the Thanos clip, the bootleg one,
and then go to me, and then use a lens flare blowout, and then make me snap my fingers. Then quick show the carne asada.
So now, was this actually on Mexican television, like on the commercials?
I believe it's on Mexican TV. You can also, again, you can go to that restaurant's Facebook page, and all of these crazy commercials. They did a ripoff, I think, of the movie Venom as well. It's all the same shit. It's just them ripping off the trailer, and then a giant zoom in of the Mexican restaurant owner.
But that's what I love about Mexico, because no other business in the right mind would ever do this, because it'd be cease and desist craze-mo. But they just like, oh, fuck it. And the TV station that took the money, because obviously you had to pay advertising money to get the thing, they were like, oh, fuck it. Nothing matters. They were in Mexico. Like, good luck, whoever, like, who owns Marvel now? Is Disney?
Disney.
Yeah. The biggest corporation in the
Disney
goddamn
owns everything.
Yeah, the biggest corporation in the world. They're not afraid.
I like how Longwood Lures in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, says, how is this news? This is like the sad, lonely dad at 3 a.m. flipping through YouTube news. Well, I mean, if you want to go to CNN and see what's happening in the real world, then you're more than welcome to go there.
It's
but
all
I'm
terrible
actually really happy that Fisher went in this direction. This is real news to me, because everything else is fucking sad bullshit.
You want to hear about Trump buying Greenland?
Yeah,
again,
if you want that, you can go have that. But we're not that show. Apologies.
I like how someone's like, I don't get enough.
I need more hard-hitting news.
I need more hard-hitting news, you idiots. Not gonna do it.
By the way, if you come to us
here for
news, you're like, hold on, every Friday.
How is this news? God damn it!
That's where I get my news.
I waited all day to find out what's happening in the world, and now I gotta hear about Mexican Thanos.
By the way, have we ever done news? Fucking Seth.
No, we've never done that.
It's Pelican updates with Buzz. Like, what the fuck? None of it means anything.
And Seth, I don't even know what he does for news. That
He
shit's
laughs
all
when
over the
people
place. And
die.
by when I say that shit's all over the place, it's actually shit
Yeah.
all over the place.
It's on Vice.com. You can go read it for yourself. Tom, this one's for you.
All right.
Everyone shit on you for your Pulver idea.
Yeah,
right? And
I'm
it was
glad you brought
already
this
a
up.
thing. Like, we found out it was already a thing. Someone had already created it.
Well, not when I first started talking about it. I don't know why that happened. And it was like a month or so. Then someone started in California, and then it was like, they're stealing your idea. Which I like that an idea is worth anything. Your idea isn't worth shit, everybody. Like, just unless you're seriously, unless you're willing to do something with it, ideas are nothing.
You're right.
You know, they're dreams.
Oh, check it out.
And dreams are
Pooper, because shitty people swim too.
There you go.
Speaking of shit,
no.
this app was developed and launched at the end of last year. However, because here's someone Longwood Larry Lore, whatever his name was, because we are in election season, Fox News starts bringing up if you're in a progressive city, you're going to start hearing these news articles about how awful those progressive cities are, right? San Francisco, Portland, all these.
Okay,
so this is starting to reappear again. There's actually an app that was developed at the end of last year. It's called Snapcrap.
All right.
Oh,
And
no.
it is it's an app developed to confront California's human waste crisis. I know you guys are going out to California next month, I believe.
We're trying to.
We're seeing if we can get these disorganized comedians to help us out a little bit. Come on, throw us a bone, guys.
So this says, as California grapples with a growing homeless population, human waste and trash-strewn streets are being blamed for declining in tourism in San Francisco and illness in Los Angeles. So, which is true. I mean, I've been to San Francisco, and there's just certain sections that you don't want to go in, and there's poop everywhere. There's
Yeah.
needles because I think the city hands out needles, and they're dropping those.
They're
So
getting all kinds of ancient diseases back over there.
Yeah. There's a huge homeless camps in LA. I hear like people that
You guys better watch out. Don't do
podcasters-
bumcast out there.
No,
I would go to the homeless camp.
the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
I have a story about that.
No, you gotta burn them down.
So this app, what it does is you can, if you're a resident there, you can upload a photo into Snapcrap. It opens a new window, and it alerts the Poop Patrol, which is the public works employees. They actually have hired people to go and clean up the feces around the city. This app,
Human feces.
This app creates almost like a Google Maps marker, and it is brown.
Google Craps.
It is brown. And then they know where to go and target and clean up the human feces.
Oh, I would do that every day. I would go and do that at Jimmy's front door just to prank him.
You know what? That's probably, I don't know. Let's try to think about this. What I feel like pooping on concrete is the number one tell that something's gone horribly wrong in your life. Like, think about this, because I'm trying to think of other, like the sleeping outside. There's been situations where I'm sure, like even friends in high school.
Well, why?
like-
Why?
What?
I mean, like, is it better if I scoot 2 feet to the right and poop in the grass?
Or shitting in a bucket.
Well, yeah, it just means that you've gotten to the point.
What about a
where
Gatorade bottle?
Pooping? No, that's still a step up.
No.
I'm
Pickle jar.
saying pooping on concrete is a tell that things have gone horribly wrong, because that means it's your only choice. Like, because plenty of people poop in the woods. It's actually me and Daniel's one of the favorite things we do.
Well,
It's
I think
like camping. is pooping.
I have a theory
Yeah.
that if you poop in the woods, more comes out.
Yeah.
Because your body like senses that you're in a natural environment, and
Yeah,
your
yeah.
body's like, this is the way. Like, it's
back
thousands
to
of
the
years
origin.
of
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
And then and your body's like, this is where I should be, and then you
Yes.
evacuate everything.
Yeah, we've always said every person should experience pooping in the woods.
Yeah,
It's
I like it.
It should be on your bucket list.
And squat. Don't lean against a tree.
Should not experience pooping onto a sidewalk or some sort of city
What about
scape.
what about what
Bad,
about
bad.
pooping into a phone book and then closing it?
It's when you resort into pooping onto the concrete.
Do you
That's
have any?
where
Do you have any places that you want to poop that you have not pooped yet?
Oh yeah.
I pooped on a half pipe one time.
All right.
fuck?
This guy's the worst.
Now, is this Butler or Travis Paul Randy?
Yeah.
Trevor Paul Randy.
Okay.
I pooped in the woods one time, and then I kept going back.
Butler
as,
pooped on a half pipe.
As a child, I kept going back to
God.
see the deterioration, and got those big blue flies on it. I started whacking them with a stick.
I'm pretty certain back when we were in high school and the beginning of college, the Grizz, like we used to all take we would follow each other in our cars up to Peace River every year from a birthday.
Yeah.
And the Grizz, like we were on the turnpike or whatever, or maybe 75, and he stuck his ass out the window on the turnpike and
gross.
shit out the car. Just because we were next to him, and
How did he wipe?
he started mooning us, and then he just started pooping out the thing. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe not the Grizz, maybe Porno Joe. One of these fucking animals did it, and we laughed and laughed.
Doesn't
and
it
we
kind of
took
like
all over the car.
Yeah, it was on the car. and
Tony
everything.
Palmiotti checking in. How about pooping into ice cream cones and then leaving them there? Tony, you're a
What?
sick fuck. What the fuck's
know
wrong
what?
with
Some
you?
serial
You're
killer
fired.
shit.
Poop comes out
Tony,
like
that's-
a soft swirl
Tony,
machine.
what the fuck are you doing?
The Grizz-
Does Deb need help? My God, what the fuck, man?
The Grizz pooping out of a moving car was fun. And the ice cream cones, you're
Like,
way
it's
too far.
at that point, it's a trap.
Yeah, it's also it's some sort of hate crime.
Tony said, I made myself laugh.
There is an poop app already that was out there. WWE wrestler Braun Strowman actually uses a poop tracker app, which every time they travel around the country, so he likes to track every city and every location that he's taken a poop. And there's actually an app for that.
Nah,
as well.
I don't like
Stupid idea.
You can follow people pooping?
I believe so. I don't know. I'll download it. I'll see.
Oh, man.
So,
God, lately
next story.
lately the studio's just been
it's
getting
been bad.
it double barreled.
This
I
one
mean,
is
it's
for-
been bad.
This one's for Butler.
No.
I don't know if he's gonna be here with us.
Yeah, he's here. He's
So he
in
did.
spirit.
Butler, you mentioned too the bubonic plague. So I believe you are a big fan of the jam band Fish.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard about this. Continue.
Okay, so the good news is a weekend of Fish concerts will go on as scheduled at a soccer stadium outside Denver. The bad, there's no longer going to be overnight camping allowed,
Or vending.
and that's because of the Black Death plague. The one that killed an estimated 60% of the medieval European population, and certain centuries later, millions more. Even for a fan base long adjusted to curveballs, the situation unfolding in the prairie dog colonies that surround.
no.
Fucking prairie dogs.
Tied it into pooping. Prairie dogs.
So there's a big sign. They've got it on this article. It says plague warning. Bubonic plague is an infectious disease which was once referred to as the Black Death. Prairie dogs and other wild rodents in this area may be infected with plague. Plague may be transmitted to humans through contact with infected animals or their fleas.
Well, no offense, Butler, but I feel like if the plague was going to attack anybody that needs to go, like
it's probably
people
the
that like jam bands, I'm okay with that. You know, like if
Stinky, patchouli, wooks,
if we eradicated those that like, Humphreys, McGee, Dave Matthews Band, Fish.
Yeah. Let's just saying,
Sound Tribe.
We're not gonna
all these Disco Biscuits. Fuck all those kids.
If we could get rid of all those guys, and finally we can get back to having some goddamn good music.
All the wooks gone.
We're not going to take a giant tax income hit as a country. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for him, but we'll move on. Now, what, Samantha?
Whatever happened to that really nice salt crystal shop that I enjoyed? Oh, she died. Okay. What happened to the in DeLand? There was in my hometown. There was always this place that I couldn't understand why it stayed in business. It was called Merlin's Vision. And all they sold were dream catchers and crystals. That's it. That's it.
Remember Black Market Minerals?
What is that?
It's kind of the same kind of shop. It's just like crystals and stones and wires to make your own jewelry.
Yeah.
They still have one out in Old Town in Kissimmee.
That's insane.
I saw one. I was like, oh my God, I thought those were gone.
I wouldn't believe it's still a thing, and unless I had a friend that's parents were into this and 100% like into it, like healing and the crystals and the whole thing. And I'm like, really? And I saw it for myself, and I was like, well, it still exists. Like there are people into it. All the remedies, the crystals, the salt,
the essential oils.
Now, with the Black Plague, do you? Is it a death sentence at 100%, or can you be treated?
Well, the Black Plague. It's also the bubonic plague. Yeah, but I think it is actually lethal.
Is it a bacteria, a virus? This is out down my eye.
It's airborne.
So it's a virus. So it's viral. Now, is it one of those deals where, like, if you're a kid or elderly person, it'll get, but if you're like a healthy,
you can take antibiotics. It says.
Okay, so you can live through it. No, it's
fine. Go to your concert.
Get the Z-Pack.
Put your crystals on. Go out there and spin in a circle until you vomit. I don't care.
The wolves aren't fucking taking the antibiotics.
They're not into that.
That's the problem. It's the best group to bite.
I'm not taking your antibiotics, man. I'm just going to hang this crystal around my neck, keep the prairie dogs.
Dude, that's a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's a way to get rid
oh, my God. Who did this? Metallica did this. So fucking hard. I'm trying to think of the most, iconic commercialized metal band that would wage war against the fucking hippies.
I know a group of people that hate hippies, literally scream, hippies, like my pop-up.
Oh, my God.
My papa mad at hippies.
What if you were digging through your pop-up stuff and you found a paper? It's like, in 2019, we will release the virus. And you're like, what?
To prairie dogs, and they'll bite these hippies, and they'll rub their crystals on it and
die. Man, hey, look at this fucking puppy, dude. Hey, look. Oh, holy shit, man. Why are you biting me? Oh, shit, Ants Marching's on. Man.
Hey, bro, you're throwing up blood.
She picks up in the morning.
I don't feel so good, man.
Drink.
Such a light in my eyes.
Drink this water. It remembers the medicine. All right. What the fuck? All right.
I got last story is for Samantha, and it's the second email that I sent you.
You're bleeding on my hacky sack, man. Out of your ass.
So Samantha has talked about many times experiences that she's had with the Uber drivers and some crazy stuff.
I took a lift last night.
Crazy stuff that she's been dealing with.
No, that means.
Yeah, you do.
So this is
she was frogging it.
CBS out of Atlanta has reported there is a video.
Okay.
Daniel, it's from it's the tweet that's on there.
Yeah, I got it.
So this woman was apparently on some type of drug and started going crazy and jumped on top of an Uber driver's car and started ripping his windshield wipers off. while people are
That'll do
standing
it.
around watching this, and then jumped in the back of his car, got her out, and then she bit him like a fucking zombie and put a huge, the photo is in the news article, but just a huge red spot, bite marks on his side. It's crazy. I think the video's coming up.
Hashtag
here we
Rock
go.
Atlanta.
Here we go.
Someone got bit.
Oh my God.
I didn't call you, did I? I wouldn't get involved. Talk here, please.
I mean, that's his car. That's his car.
So she is now she got into the back
Oh my
She's
God.
getting shit in the car.
I ain't.
and he threw her out.
Somebody catch her, man. Yeah, I got.
She's little too. Whoa.
Don't hit the dog. Don't hit the dog. Just
She started
come
hitting
on,
the
man.
air.
You gotta.
Nah, I'd be
biting the
punching
shit
that
out.
bitch right now.
He's biting the shit out of
Why is your stand there?
Yeah.
I think you're justified if somebody. But by the way, that was Charles Barkley. 'Cause oh my God! Oh my God!
Don't hit her now.
This is terrible. I'm like, what? Who the fuck is that guy?
Get some enthusiasm in your voice.
Oh my God! This girl buying this is terrible. What are you doing?
Come on, Charles Barkley.
Do something. You're a big basketball player.
I think that shows it was how society is today. Now, there was people standing there, and one woman you can overhear her say, "Don't get involved.
Yeah.
Like, just shoot it and shoot video of it, so then you
I
can
thought
make
you
it
were
go
talking
viral."
about the
I
person
would
with
power
the
bomb
gun.
her off the concrete.
Yeah, I would have to kill that woman.
Because
right? I mean,
you can hear Charles Barkley tell the guy, "Don't hit her."
don't hit him, man.
And she's biting the shit out of him because now
Yeah,
you're
everybody's
so worried.
scared of being filmed doing
Fuck
something.
that.
And they're going to cut a clip and only
No.
show an Uber
No.
driver hitting a woman in the
I'm
face.
gonna fuck
Look,
her
if
up.
I'm getting bit, you're getting hit.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
my hashtag.
I like that. You got claws and laws, bits and hits.
And you're justified. Just know the
Gonna
law.
play that
If someone's
song?
biting you, you are allowed to defend yourself
Yes.
at that point.
And
They
I
are
like
attacking
that.
you.
Well,
Self-defense.
he,
No, but he was
said not to
leaning
hit her.
away.
He
He
said
was-
not to hit her before she started biting
Yeah.
him. So, like, I mean, I think he was probably like, yeah, don't hit her, and then she went in and bite him.
He was leaning away though, going like, I'm just taking it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like a man that owns lions when his lions are killing him. It's
You
like,
know-
you got to do something,
Hold on,
man.
don't
kill the lion.
You know what's weird? I feel
Oh my
bad
God!
because in every
That guy's awesome.
in every zombie movie
Oh shit! Ants Martian's on.
and
Charles, come back.
and every zombie movie, Walking Dead, I always make fun of the fact that when someone's getting bit by the zombies, they always just freeze and the zombies biting their neck, blood squirting out, and they're just like, ah! Like, I'm saying,
Yeah,
like I mean,
yeah.
you would be like, fuck! Like, you'd be
you'd
flinching
react, you'd
away.
react.
Except for the fact I'm watching someone really get bit and they're fucking doing the same shit. So
Maybe-
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's how you act.
Myth busted.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you're bit, you literally give into it like a vampire.
Yeah,
it's
you're like,
you've been charmed.
Yeah, like you. Here's the thing, because I would assume you fucking rip your hand away
Yeah.
and you'd be like, get the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? You react. You're not just like, ah.
I think Travis was correct. Sam was correct. You would power bomb. You would slap. You would punch. You would literally kick this woman off
Yeah.
of you. I mean, the minute she started getting her mouth near me, I'd fucking probably jack her in the head.
Oh, the
right?
minute she started approaching me, and I was
Yeah.
like backing away, and she kept on approaching me, and I'm like, yo, she's about to bite me. I'm about to probably punch
Yeah.
this bitch.
Also,
Fuck that.
and here's the thing.
Oh my god!
Why
A
were,
booger the size of a baseball just fell out of my nose.
What?
Sorry.
if,
Where'd it go?
Wipe it on the shorts.
if I'm in a situation,
Put it in my drink cup.
I don't want the guy even get out of his car. Like if some cracky jumps on my car and starts ripping the windshield wipers off, literally I'm just like, lock the doors and then
Go in reverse.
And then if I feel afraid for my life, I'm like, you're gonna die now because I'm gonna go I'm gonna go extremely fast and then slam on the brakes, and there is no way you're gonna hold on. Like I'm gonna T2 your motherfucking ass.
I'm gonna T2.
I'm just saying. But so I'm not gonna get out and fight you. I'm gonna lock the doors. I'll call the cops. And I don't want to T2 you, but I would.
Oh my god, he T2'd her ass. Oh man, this is terrible.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna get out and start reasoning with you. Like, once
Yeah,
you-
it's a crazy person.
Once you're on my car ripping my fucking windshield wipers off, I've done the math. I'm like, all right, there's no reasoning with this person. And by the way,
What a crazy time to be alive, man. People do nothing that I see, even the things that should make sense, nothing makes sense.
yeah. Why did he?
Why did he
she's
stand
like,
there?
"Ah!"
But look, I'll go back to it. Look at him standing.
Do you think he's doing
Is
that?
this fake? Because who is going to stand there and let someone just continue to bite them?
God, I ain't.
So he pushed her down to the floor.
She did a full split when she fell, by the way, which is impressive.
She is. Oh yeah, now she's swinging at him.
Don't hit her though.
Don't hit her though.
Now-
See, I think Dan Paul has this right. I think this is Tom when he runs out of gas.
He biting the shit out. He biting the shit out.
He's given up all life at that point.
Why is he just standing
I
there?
don't know.
Yeah, why are you biting me? And even more so, why am I not doing anything?
We need to interview this guy. I need to know.
Yeah. That.
I want to bully him.
The problem is nowadays there's so much of the shit on the internet that it's impossible to even know.
Oh, this
like,
just
is it
in.
contrived?
She also bit Charles Barkley. Oh man, she's biting me. Oh,
Because you got to think about it too.
man.
Like some of this stuff too is it's not totally fake, and the fact that there may be a real crazy crackhead that's attacking this person, but he is cognizant that it's being filmed and he wants to take it to the next level for the viral
me.
video aspect.
I think I'm old enough. I think you're old enough. Probably everybody in this room is old enough to be old school enough to just hit her.
She's
And
in jail.
I'm not. You
Well,
shouldn't.
self-defense.
And you shouldn't hit anybody.
You're not fighting
but
her.
it-
You got to get her off.
But
you
yeah,
know?
But you don't even really have to. Why aren't you able to? This lady looked like she was $110. You
Put
know
her
what
in
I'm
a
saying?
chokehold. Put her to
She
sleep.
was. She was like smaller than me.
Yeah, you could.
She
In
looked
that
like she was
scenario,
5
what would
foot
Seth
tall.
do?
Yeah, rock bottom that
That's
bitch.
what you do.
Yeah.
Well, just stay in your car and lock the doors. You're not gonna bust
Yeah.
through the window, or like you could run her over if it's you thought your life was in danger. You know, like
Also, you have insurance and you have all her information if she was a passenger, right?
I don't think she was a passenger.
Oh,
She's just some
okay.
crazy woman who
Oh, I
jumped
thought
on.
she was one of the passengers.
No, that she tried to get in his car. So now, and she is in jail. She's facing charges
Good.
at the time of the story, and
People have lost their goddamn minds.
he didn't want fame. He actually didn't want his name released in the news article. So it wasn't-
Damn it.
then that theory goes against him wanting attention.
Yeah. Sure.
So really, it just goes back to him being an idiot.
Well, the people who want the attention is Charles Barkley shooting it because he wants to put it on his Twitter feed.
Well, he did, right? Like-
He's like, that just means like biting me. Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, do you guys want a palate cleanser? Do you have another story or no?
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah, I have a palate cleanser. Do you want to wait? Because we're a little bit late.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay,
Come
I
back.
have a palate cleanser for when we come back. We're
then-
going to debut a brand new song that Samantha found that is.
Well, I didn't find it. To be fair, somebody posted it in the BDM group,
Okay,
and
great.
I thought it was great.
It's terrific. So we'll handle that when we get back.
I could tell you AT&T and my whole new phone
please,
story.
Please.
That's all
I
pop
cannot
up
wait.
crazy.
You guys familiar with the punk rock band Off With Their Heads? I love this band. One of my favorites. They have a new album out. It's called Be Good. The name of the song is No Love, but we have plenty of love for you guys. 1-844-TOMNDAN or show@tomanddan.com if you'd like to email us. We'll be right back. The name of that band is Northbound. The name of the song, Stick Around. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. Hey, V Ratings, thank you so much for tipping us out in the Twitch chat room. We don't know what you gave us because we're fucking idiots.
The whole break, we were like, oh, look at that. He tipped us 21,000 shiny diamonds. Then
No
Butler's
idea
like,
what the fuck that
he's
means.
like, I think that's $2,000 because the $1 100, and we're like,
No, $230. That's a lot of dough,
yeah,
man.
hell yeah, we
That's a
appreciate
lot
it.
of dough. And I'll
But
have you
we're-
know
but
that
I
some
was-
of that goes to Juan, and, because that we gift that
helps
out
us
to
with Twitch, yeah.
Yeah, it helps us with Twitch. So,
Just paid for one person to go to Podcast Movement next year.
yeah, Dallas.
So thank
Podcast
you.
Movement Dallas and with Podcast Evolutions in LA.
But it's funny because
Whatever
I'm having
the fuck that means.
I'm having this conversation with Butler. I'm like, no, hold on. I think that's purple diamonds. These are shiny diamonds. And then Daniel's like, what are we, fucking babies? Just give me the goddamn money amount.
He gave us 15 teddy bears. No. He gave us 16 ears of corn. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I wish, can we just make it, how about just make it dollars?
yeah.
Oh, you gave us $230. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. $230. Why is it got to be fucking diamonds and octagons and fucking...
They're like, no, conversion rate. No, this is your Twitch dollars.
No, you forgot. That's European shiny diamonds.
Yeah, they're like dog ears. You're like, what? Anyway.
All right. So there you
Chinese
go.
ones.
We'll say this segment brought to you by OneFirmForLife.com. if you want any lawyer advice or going through any legal troubles, Mike Kramer Law Firm.
Well, here we go. You're going to love this, buddy, so I'm just going to let this speak for itself.
Shorty let down your hair. It might seem ridiculous, but you'd be lying if you say it ain't delicious. Give me that grapefruit, mango, lime, my white girl wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a sixer, a seltzer calling my name. No shame in my game, 'cause there ain't no laws when you're drinking claws. You can have a good time anytime. Feels like summertime, day drunk just because. You can dance in the halls or take a dip in your drawers.
What do you think, Tom?
Gonna play this in the Trump truck?
Dude, you gotta blast this.
Dude, pull up to the skateway.
Yeah.
It gets better.
No matter what you bench, big dog. If you can curl them 12-ounce claws. You can hang with us, pop a can with us, pull up a chair, forget you
This is
got
my motherfucking
balls.
Yeah.
'Cause there ain't
Forget
no
you got balls.
when you're drinking claws.
The guy's got a great voice.
Yeah.
Have a good time anytime. Feels like summertime.
This is Shania Twain's Any Man of Mine. It's the
It
same.
kind of
It's
is,
the same
yeah.
Simmer down there, halls. 'Cause there ain't no
They said take off your bras, which is your
Yeah,
line.
that's mine.
drinking claws.
Ain't no problem.
Let's finish it out real quick.
You could have a drink, still watch your waistline shrink. Not all heroes wear capes. I think we should thank the folks who made them.
And they put the name of the guy who made the
'Cause
clothes.
there ain't no laws when we're drinking claws. We can have a good time anytime. Feels like summertime, day drunk just because. If the boss man calls, we're gonna tell him fuck off. 'Cause there ain't no laws when we're drinking claws.
What do you think, Tom?
There ain't no laws.
I like it. Also, for all the hardcore fans of country, I'm sure they're very mad about this.
No, I bet you they like it.
No,
man.
I think that makes me laugh too because I feel like they hate it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think they'll get it. I think they'll embrace it.
Here's the thing.
They hated Old Country Road too because they're like, what, black guy?
Yeah.
We forget, like, and
You're okay with Darius Rucker,
and
though.
I'm really, you know what?
Wow, he doesn't count. He's one of ours.
He's also not gay.
One of ours.
Because all I hang out with
Sorry, he's part of the white tribe.
is you guys and our listeners. I don't hang out with anybody else, and like
Oh, Tracy in there, the biggest White Claw fan ever, is literally pulling her bra off and squeezing her titties. So she's literally losing her mind right now.
So I forget what like normal society thinks unless I go. Usually it's playing poker or when I do my fantasy drafts, right? Because both those times when I bring White Claw or order White Claw, like last year on our fantasy draft, all the other dudes and everybody's making fun of me to like fucking with me, like because they're like, oh, hey, you brought some, you're ordering White Claw. Do you need a marker to mark off your picks?
Oh
or do you
no!
want to
Even
use
the
your period
supervillains,
blood?
the supervillains are in here yesterday.
They're fucking with me.
Supervillains were in here yesterday.
They had the pints.
Yeah, and they had the pints, and then Scart bought them because they're doing a White Claw party. We told them we'd give them some extra love. That's going to be down at Wall Street, and but then they were all making fun of it, and then the saxophone player's the only honest one out of all of them. No offense, guys, because he was like, "Yeah, this stuff sucks," and then he looks at me and he goes. He winks and then he starts fucking chugging it. He's like, "It tastes good."
They tagged the term "get clobbered."
Yeah, get clobbered, man.
Well, I'm just saying it's like in there's like the tough guys
Yeah.
that still fuck with you.
Which is what that song is about. Like, ain't no shame in my game. When you taste it, it's fucking
Yeah,
delicious.
it's fucking.
I forget.
You
I
know what?
drink it every night.
I talked
Yeah.
to one of my culinary friends. I'm not going to bust him out, but this guy is a chef. He's a butcher. He makes his own bacon and like he's one of these guys, right? Hipster, knows beer, has been around craft beer longer than about as long as Justin Clark. So think about forever. And then we were over at Publix, and I ran into him. I go, "Oh man, I haven't seen you in forever." And I looked down, and he's got a one of the multi-packs of White Claw. And I go, oh, White Claw, huh? And he goes, yeah, don't tell anybody. It's fucking great.
Wait a minute. Hold on. V Ratings just donated another $400.
God damn.
Wow.
Thank you, dude.
Two of you can go to podcast.
You must have really liked that song.
Yeah, should we play the song again?
I saw that happening all the time when I was my final years in the beer industry. I saw a bunch of beer rips that were totally congregating around the White Claw tents or any of the White Claw samplings, or trading their beers for the White Claws at any beer festival just because it's crushable throughout the entire summer.
So tell me what is the issue though? Because like to me,
it's perceived as a girly drink.
Yeah, because it's a seltzer.
See, I've never looked at it like that because I'm legitimately the first person to guzzle this shit on behalf of your wife who told me about it because her friend, was it Heidi that found it?
Yeah.
It was Heidi that found it, talked to Crystal, told me Andrea found it at believe it ABC Liquor, said it isn't the shit we were talking about at Epcot, brought it home, and then I drank the whole 6-pack.
Yeah. But
I never looked at it like, oh, this is a fucking girl drink.
No. Well, you're not the type. You're a Peloton riding
wine mom.
Wine mom. You know,
I'm a wine mom.
And so, but
they equate it to like Mike's Hard Lemonade, Smirnoff Ice. You know,
see, I don't even put it in. I don't put it in the same category.
It's not as sweet as any of those.
No, it's
not. It's not sweet at all, really.
It's alcohol water.
Yeah.
But I see what
I'm not trying to stick up for it either. It's just I don't see.
See, I will stick up for it. I love this shit.
Yeah, look at you.
All right, Travis Paul Randy.
Travis Paul Randy's going all in.
This is his fucking theme song.
TPR loves this shit.
It's like you're at the now it's not like this, but this is what like tough guys, if you're with your friends at a bar and then everybody's ordering craft beer and you're like, I'll have the skinny girl margarita.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but also like
that's
a lot of these people that are saying this will drink a Bud Light.
Of course,
and there's more alcohol in a White Claw than a Bud Light.
There's no logic.
Didn't even think about that.
To bullying anybody, and I
know it's not Fisher's bag, but I don't think I don't know. I mean, like it's not something that I think you do. You see it?
The trend in the industry is all now everyone's moving towards the
hard water,
seltzers.
hard tonic, yeah.
Because
do you hate that or like? You can be honest.
I don't mind it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
There's some that I've tried that I'd like, and some that I don't like.
The Oscar Blue ones are pretty good.
Yeah, so they
they're not bad at all.
For years, big beer has been hurt by the spirits industry, which everyone started drinking vodka because you don't want to consume 350 calories each time you drink a beer. So they were losing market share to the spirits industry, and some of these locations or some of these companies figured out that, well, we can brew a seltzer, a hard seltzer. It'll fit in that spirits category because of the lack of calories. And now the craft breweries are starting to do the same thing. Oscar Blues is doing it. MIA, they did theirs a while back.
I'll tell you one of my favorites right now, and it ties into BYOCB, is that key lime over at Tactical.
Yeah, and that's a light ale. That's not a sparkling seltzer.
What do they do to that to make it? Have you had this? I gotta walk you down there one day and we'll just get a pint of it just so you can try it. It's so light and crispy, and it's an ale. But how many calories?
115 for a pint. And what they did was they found this enzyme that'll actually eat away after they brew it. It'll eat away the sugar, so you're not getting hardly any sugar content either.
Guys,
and it tastes really good.
It's legit. Yeah, it's really really good. It's got a real bright key lime flavor up front, but. I mean, if you're the guy that's upset about getting backlash from drinking White Claw, you won't get it because when you look at it, it looks like a beer.
You can grab a White Claw at Tactical. They have them now because they know it's the trend. So
they're smart.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. But don't get me wrong. I want to be in a fantasy football league and I want to play poker with a bunch of dudes that are fucking with me about drinking White Claw. That's what I want. Like I don't want them to be like,
yeah, it doesn't bother you.
I don't mind what you drink. Be yourself.
Well, you don't have to comment at all. Who gives a fuck what I'm drinking? You know what I mean? Like
but he's saying
masculinity mentality. But it's like, you're not a real man if you drink White Claw.
I take it as an endearment.
Yeah, it's like our Facebook conversation where Tom's saying that most people Daniel reads Facebook with a different filter than Tom reads Facebook. I agree with that. So
they're my friends. They're fucking with me. Like people fuck with each other. Good.
If you're not my friend, and fuck with me about it. But yeah, it is. I could see that.
And they all drink that shit too. They drink White Claw. Everybody. It's fucking it's
alcohol. I can't get that song out of my head now.
That song is gonna.
When you're drinking.
I think that guy could sell that as the writer, he could sell it to Luke Bryan, someone like that. They go shoot a video on Homosassa Springs, and all the bikini girls are drinking White Claw, and it'd be a huge hit.
The only problem is that I hear tell that White Claw doesn't like it.
The whole no laws, the no laws part, they use the wrong rhyming because then a corporation can't get behind a message of like, hey, drink this.
You can
There's
break
no
the
law,
law, yeah.
because guaranteed there's lawsuits
Can't
associated
do
with that because
that.
we fucking live in such a goddamn litigious society. You can't have fun anymore.
In Europe, you could probably pull this off.
Oh yeah, with the titties out.
Yeah. There ain't no laws when you're drinking the claws.
Yeah, with your titties out.
And not Santa
Ain't no
Claus,
bras.
we say Saint Nick.
Yeah, no bras, no claws, all that shit.
Father Christmas.
Father Christmas, there ain't no laws when you're drinking Father Christmas.
That Mexican restaurant's going to do a parody of it, and they'll just release
They
that.
should.
Yeah.
By the way, the new tangerine White Claw.
Damn it, it's good.
It's good.
Fucking amazing.
God, I almost want my wife to sign up for a BJ's account. I
know.
tried to convince her over breakfast this morning just so I can go get some.
I got to try the 70-calorie watermelon coming out.
No, yeah.
That
So-
sounds really good.
We'll end this with this real quick because I know we got to go.
Are we ending the show?
It's been 2 hours.
We've been going long.
Okay.
But
Second segment was a spicy gem.
So I broke my phone, my brand new like iPhone 10 or whatever. I cracked the screen, but in my
You have the iPhone 10 X.
S.
Or the Max, I mean. You got the big boy.
Yeah, so the big iPhone 10 or whatever. So I cracked the screen somehow. By somehow I mean it was in the bathroom and I was just putting it up
Jacking
against
it?
the
Were you jacking it? You were jacking it too hard.
You know what? I did,
Were you jacking it? And your wife's like,
no.
I know what you're doing. You threw it. You threw it against the wall.
Anyway,
I'm busy.
Someone's in there.
So in my mind I was like, oh,
I'm not jacking it.
It doesn't matter. don't scream that, by the way. That's what we call in the poker business a tell.
Yeah.
But
you haven't lived. You've had to bend completely over and jack it right into the toilet.
So
There ain't no laws when you're jerking off.
Yeah, that's good.
I was like, oh, no problem, because when I bought this phone, the person, a salesperson, I'm the fucking biggest mark for any salesperson. You offer me, I got a fucking Banana Republic credit card, for God's sakes. It showed up at the house. My wife was like, look at this shit, you idiot. I'm like, I know, we gotta cancel it.
Banana Republic. He has one shirt from there. He's got a fucking credit
I don't
card.
fucking. The last time with the 9-10 years ago, no, I prepared jeans. Anyway,
Are you interested in
I
saving
don't know why I did this
20%?
shit. Yeah. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
sure.
yes, ma'am, I'll do it. By the way, she's 10 years younger than I am. Anyway, so I got, the person's like, you should get an insurance. It's a no-brainer because blah blah. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I got it. So then when I broke it, I was like, oh. Hey, it fucking worked out for me. The old Banana Republic credit card guy. I got the insurance, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Like a whole new phone, free phone. Anyway, so of course weeks go by and I don't do shit about it until my phone starts fucking up a little bit, and I'm like, maybe because I dropped it a couple more times in the bathroom.
What are you doing in there?
You don't want to know. It's
Some serious
aggressive.
jacking.
Loud.
You gotta get a pop socket and prop it up on the toilet.
I know.
socket holder.
We
Yeah.
ran out of pop sockets.
I can get you a Daniel Tiger one, but
I can get you a fried chicken one.
don't talk about it.
So anyway, I was like, fine, I'm gonna take so I'm gonna carve out a piece of the day and I'll figure this whole thing out, right? So, Daniel was here. It was me and Daniel by ourselves.
I sat quietly on the gray couch, drinking some claws,
Yeah.
because there's no laws. And I watched this go down, and I didn't say a word. Did I say a word?
No.
Did I interject?
No.
Did I try to change your pathway at all?
No.
Even though I could have,
Yeah.
and even though I probably should have. I did not. It's like watching wildlife. It was like watching a lion kill an antelope, knowing that you didn't want the antelope to die, but at the same time understanding that some things just have to be.
So
it was exactly like that.
I finally figured out. Like I called the AT&T store first.
It's on hold forever, by the way.
And then they don't answer.
They're playing Steely Dan. They're playing Michael
Nice.
McDonald. Yeah, it was Yacht Rock Crazy on hold.
I guess nowadays you call any store, they try to divert you to like a
big corporate.
national phone
corporate.
bank, and they don't want you to, like, the people at the store to answer the phone for. I don't know. So I get to the big corporate and they're like, you need to call this number. And by the way, usually through your insurance, like even though you have insurance, you opted, that's a third party, and you have to pay a deductible for a new phone.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, what's the deductible? And there's like $299. And I'm like, what?
He did. He screamed.
And I was like, whoa, why do I even have this shit?
Yeah, he's like, deductible? What do you mean deductible?
And which, by the way, all this was probably at least in whatever contract or something.
It was explained to you at some point.
Well, no, he didn't explain to me any deductible because if he did at the time, here's the thing, all my fault because I don't fucking ask any question. I just like, yeah, whatever. I just want my phone to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I should have asked. It's all on me, But anyway, so when I
got home to my watch.
So I was like, oh shit! Like now in my mind, free phone turned into I got to pay $300 for a phone. But I was like, well, my screen's just cracked. So you know what? I'm gonna go talk to a person,
the lady,
like an old man.
And the lady he had on the line too was doing this thing where she'd like start talking to them and she'd be like, "Well, sir, you're gonna need to get the."
The reception's bad.
She just kept moving away from her phone, and then he couldn't hear her. But rather than say, "Well, excuse me, ma'am, I can't really hear you," he was just like, "Oh, I'm trying to figure out what she's saying." And then he looks at me, he's like, "Can you understand what she's saying?" And I'm like, "No, you ask her to."
Yeah.
But I didn't. Again,
No.
I let the antelope die.
So I don't know what she
die.
said. Anyway, so I go to the AT&T store, walk in. It's like before 5, so they got nothing to do. They're all just sitting there texting. I want to ghost town. By the way, I was like, why does this even exist? And
old pop-pops like you.
You're right.
Yep.
It's me, and I look behind. Oh shit!
It's almost like
ghost of my pop-pops here. Fucking Daniel's dad. Anyway,
God damn it, Tom!
So
you fucking dickhead!
I walk in there.
Purgatory.
All these young kids are like come up to me like, "Can I help you, sir?" I'm like, "Yeah, I broke my phone. I don't know." And they're like, "Oh, you got the insurance?" And they're like, "Yeah, you gotta call this number. Like, you could use our phone if you want." I'm like, "What? Why does that help me?" Like, they're like, "You gotta call
had to
the
go
line."
to the brick and mortar store to call the number from there.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was like, "I'll call in my car."
Face.
So then I'm talking to the insurance company lady, and they're like, "Is your phone broke? It's $299." I'm like, well, my screen's broke. I'm not sure if the actual, I don't know. It doesn't work right. She's like, do you do this? She's like, I don't know anything about it. I can barely even work. Butler was trying to show me how to. This is embarrassing, by the way. Butler, am I lying about any of this? Did you have to show me how to fucking just, I don't know what you showed me.
I had to give you my mom's tutorial.
Yeah. Like you have too many things running, and then he opens it up, and there's like 10 gajillion screens open.
I was like, can you just slide up, bro? Slide up. Swipe.
I'm like,
how many swipe ups did you do?
I'm fucking.
I don't think you ever finished.
Dealing it like a magician. I'm like, fucking hundreds of things open.
Like he's dealing cards.
Anyway, so finally,
oh my God,
this is now. Tell me how fucking a waste of money this is. So I finally, this is the resolution, by the way. So the insurance company. So we finally okay, we'll fix your screen for $50, right?
Hey.
So I'm like, okay, I'll take that or whatever, $50. Which I'm like, how much is it just to go to one of these fucking places? Like, can't be that much
Kiosk,
more.
yeah.
But apparently with this new one, it's the whole screen, so it's more complicated. Anyway, I don't know. So they're like, what times are you available? Because we're sending a person to you. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, the person will come and fix your house. So it's your phone. So then I'm like, well,
where's he gonna come?
Our office is in Baldwin Park, and they looked up the address and like, that's outside of our network area.
Oh my God!
I'm like, outside of your network?
Where is your fucking network?
I'm like, I only live.
We're in Georgia.
I literally
6.5 miles away.
6.5 miles down the road, and this was a step too far. I'm like, what is this? Castleberry only? Like, what is?
Thank you for calling Castleberry Screen Repair.
Everybody in Baldwin in the Winter Park is hip to the game.
Well, they're too nice.
Thank you for calling Castleberry Screen Repair. This is Shaggy Dude. So
Safe Flight is really broad. So
I'm like,
Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
So basically, I'm like, well, I'm only home after 5, and they're like, we have some times from like 7 to 8.
Whoa, that's late, midnight.
So on Monday, 7 to 8 o'clock, someone's coming to my house to fix my screen.
Oh my
I'm like,
What, in your house?
in my house, like they're gonna come.
You're
in
gonna
and
sit
sit
in
here.
your
Probably
dining
drunk
room-
by then.
He's gonna sit at your dining room table?
What is this?
While
Like-
your sons swirl around
Yeah,
him?
this is a bizarre thing. Why don't you have like a subcontract?
It's gonna be like a guy like me.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
I'm not comfortable with
It's
that.
traffic ball Randy here. I'm gonna fix this screen. Hey, what's up? I like your sons. I like their style.
Hey, man, you want to fuck?
I'm not a business
Oh my
genius
God.
here, but why didn't you outsource this to the million phone repair places or whatever? Like,
Can you do me a favor and put on the
like-
American channel while I like to watch the hunting while I'm fixing these
Fox
screens.
News or bust.
It can't be like
Does your wife know about this? The chat room is asking if you notified her that a stranger will be coming to her house at like 8 p.m. to fix your phone screen.
We're not that. We'll let strangers in the house all the time.
right.
The
He's
fans
gonna
are
like
very
it.
trusting. Like someone, our neighbors watching the kids. So anyway, I'm like,
Some neighbor is watching the kids. I want everybody to
how is this cost
analyze that statement.
How is it cost effective for this company to send their people actually to a location to fix?
Did you ask if there was another option?
That was the only option. They're like.
Did you ask?
No,
Well-
of course he didn't ask. He doesn't ask.
I was like, I can't do. They're like, but they couldn't come to the office because they were outside of that network area. So
I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable with someone
See,
coming to my
Verizon
house.
just gives
Can
me
I
a
go
phone.
somewhere
That's
and
what
have
happens
my
when you
phone
get T-Mobile.
fixed?
no, I don't care about someone. Like, I'm not mad about the person coming to the house. I don't give a shit. I'll let anybody in the house.
Yeah, but it's like for
I'm
me,
like-
I'd be mad because that's the time when I'm in my boxers.
Yeah,
I'm getting
I'm
high.
relaxing at my house.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
Which,
wanna,
by the way, I'm pissed off at AT&T because a motherfucker tried to solicit at my house last night at like 6:30 p.m. I'm trying to eat my goddamn dinner and they're banging on my door trying to sell me AT&T service.
that was
Get that FiOS, bro.
That was AT&Mr.T. whole different company. Don't
hey,
let 'em-
sucker, you better sign up.
But now, I'm not mad about any of this at all. I'm mad at the
plane, Hannibal.
the waste of money this company is doing. Like, you don't need to send an employee to fucking my house.
No,
to fix my screen.
it's the reason that they're
Sublet it-
breaking. It's the reason they'll close this brick and mortar store up here. Is that
But that's
right
not even
there.
their company. Like, that's a third party insurance that AT&T sells their
Oh,
fucking
wait a minute! It's
dodo
not
customers.
through AT&T. It's
No,
it's
third party.
you're getting a juggalo for
Yeah,
sure.
dude.
No, I
Don't
don't
let
know.
them in your house,
Yeah.
Tom.
That was the only option. They're like, "Do you want insurance?" I'm like, "Yes." And I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you're getting a juggalo.
I'll be by
There are
later.
plenty of juggalos. in my house.
Takashi 69 will
There's
be fixing your
juggalos
phone
living
or
in my
whatever the
house.
guy's name was.
No, I don't even. No, I'm just mad at the waste of money. That
Yeah.
like why
It's just stupid.
This seems like a ridiculous plan for your cell phone insurance company. Like, just partner with the multitude of repair
Well,
companies.
no, here's an
and-
idea. Have a guy in your store so when you show up, he fixes it there while you wait.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make more sense than sending
know.
a juggalo to your house
Yeah.
at 8 p.m. to fix your phone?
Sending Tad
That
over to your
doesn't make
house,
any
yeah.
sense. Have the guy stationary. Also, it's an insurance liability to have these motherfuckers driving around.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
it's subcontracted, you're having to pay for that.
It just seems stupid.
Yes, because it is stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
I have, by the way, you said that I wouldn't believe this. I don't believe it because this doesn't even make sense to me why they would do that.
And by the way, we went through multiple times. Like, she would, if there was a place, she would have been like, or you could take it to the place, and I would have chose that option. So,
Or she didn't tell you that because most people will just be like, don't worry about it. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
And then they don't have to
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
fix
right.
your phone.
Yeah.
Because most people don't want people coming in their house.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, or maybe the diversion.
Yeah.
Wait
Where
a minute.
he's
Do
like-
you think that's actually a money-saving technique? So we send the guy to you. People don't like that. They won't get the screen fixed. They'll either buy a new phone
or just
Right.
go to a place?
all right.
I want-
Because everything
Because they've already
conspiracy
got your
theories,
money. They've already got your money.
they're
with the
all on the
insurance.
table now because I don't believe anything anymore. Like, I honestly, like,
Yeah.
everything is crazy to me and weird and fucked up.
I
you
say
know,
you
like,
greet him in like tidy whities and just make it as comfortable as possible.
hang
No,
your dick out.
It's not the.
Put the mullet clips in.
Yes. I don't know. Have Travis pretend to be
Yeah.
you dressed as
What time do I need to be there?
Travis
But
Paul Randy.
I don't want to do what. Remember when people are going to Chick-fil-A and yelling at the person working at the drive-thru?
I do that every time.
About being anti-gay. You're like, listen, this person.
We ain't doing that. We're just gonna
No, but-
fuck with them a little bit.
Well, that's the same thing. There was the repair person, the juggalo coming to repair my phone. He just needs a job. Like, it's not the company that made this fucking stupid business.
Keep an eye on them.
No, no,
There might
they're
be,
crank yankers are
pickpocketing.
fucking the
How about you
jerky
pivot?
boys or
Pivot.
whatever.
How about you ask him legitimately, like, and seriously?
He
go
don't
like,
know.
No. He might. And what if you go?
applied for a job?
No, you ask him. You go like, hey, I talked about this on my podcast. it makes really like zero sense to me that you are coming to me to do this when you could have been at the store to do this. Like, why do you guys do this type of program? Maybe he'll know.
Maybe. I doubt he does. And he'd be like, I don't know, bro.
He'll look at you and be like, how do magnets work? It's magic.
They charge they pay me $50 to do this, and I do, it's like that,
$50?
Just
God,
like,
you poor soul.
Well, just like any job, like I believe I've worked for or at least multiple corporations, 3 giant ones, Foot Locker, Home Depot, and Clear Channel, and they all did dumbass shit that I and customers questioned all the time to me. They're like, why do you do it like this? I'm like, fucking, I don't know. This is some dumb corporate shit. And that's it.
Well, what we learned here is that you got to be easier with your jacket off. You got to slow it down, man.
The problem is there's
you got to jack it right into the toilet. That's what I do.
There's only there's a towel holder in the shower, and then and usually
pop socket, hold it. And then you lean all the way over and you jack it right into the toilet. It's hard. You have to. And you shoot it into the water. And unfortunately, I didn't flush one time. I walked in there. I'm like, the fuck? It's cloudy. And I was like, oh, that's me.
No. Who holds their phone in their hand?
I do. Pop socket like
really?
that. I'll do it. I'll give it the motion.
I got a wall mount in the shower and in the bathroom. I have 2 wall mounts in the bathroom.
Look, it's like
I don't have the balls to put a
It's this. I'm gonna do it.
My wife hasn't seen them yet.
Look, it's this, and then when you get close, and then you go.
No,
that's bad for your back,
dude. That's why my back hurts.
I have one in my shower. My wife has not questioned why I'm.
You motherfucker! You're the worst human alive.
You got one in our bathroom next to the thinking box.
He does have one in our bathroom. Hey, you left your wipes out again, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Damn it.
Yeah, this motherfucker wipes with his wipes. He leaves them up. I have to close them every time. Like, these things are gonna go dry.
It's a wet wipe, man. You gotta make sure it's in the butthole.
I wish I lived with someone that didn't notice every single fucking detail in the world. That's my problem.
You gotta get better with hiding the
literally
details.
Everything.
I bought a 70-inch TV. My wife didn't notice for fucking 2 months.
Oh my God,
that's the way to live. I'll be. My wife's be like, "Where'd you go yesterday?" I'm like, "I fucking went to work." She's like, "There's 2 more extra miles in your car than there was." Whoa! And she's not even quite like she's not. She just noticed it.
Yeah. It's not even accusatory.
Yeah.
It's just I noticed.
She's not asking me because she thinks I cheat or doing it. She's just like, "Where'd you go?" Because that's weird. I know the miles you drive, and like she just.
That's fucking weird.
But there's no way to live for her.
That's no way to live for any.
Could you imagine noticing everything?
All your lives sound miserable to me.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Me
So
and
many
Baloney.
secrets.
God damn, that's funny.
All right.
All right, let's get out of here. Anything to plug?
Toughies tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Toughies tomorrow. I'll be out there. Tom will be out there. Anybody else coming out? You coming out?
I'll be out there.
I'll be at Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah, Fisher will be out there. BYOCB podcast.
You got the
we'll be out
co-branded
there.
magnets, right?
Yeah.
We do.
We got the CBE boys being out there.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man.
Girls,
Those guys are
too.
good. They like good beer, and they're a good group of fellas. And if you want to join up or maybe join their group, you can. You should definitely listen to Chris Fisher's podcast. You should definitely listen to Semantics. Sign up for the Patreon. Sign up for Chris's Patreon too.
Yeah, well, we're recording the Beers with Fisher Part 2 with Daniel, so that'll be the next show that we release. So keep an eye out.
I'm recording tomorrow with you. That'll be really, really fun. I cleared that with the wife. That's awesome because I get to avoid a play date.
I'll plug something.
And maybe get a gibber out of it.
I don't know if this person wants his name out there, but I will say that there was a super cool thing that I witnessed happen on the BDM page. One of our BDMs
gave birth.
Mentioned, it's hard for me and Daniel to talk about because we're
No Joke Friday.
I know that's why I'm doing it at the end of the show.
Oh yeah. But I
just
can't look at that photo anymore because it really gets me in the feels, man.
But he has a son, and he was diagnosed with brain cancer, and he was looking to. They already did something with Make-A-Wish, and he was looking. He lives in Texas, and he was looking to get, he was
destination at Disney.
Yeah, he wanted to take his son to Disney with his family.
And what child doesn't want to go to Disney World with his family and just like
forget
explore
about everything?
that?
Yeah,
because it's amazing.
And his son 10 years old, I believe.
I thought he was only like 6, but I couldn't.
6.
I think he might be a
Okay,
10 or
little
younger. Yeah,
he's younger.
But again, they live in Texas. They listen a lot, and everybody. I mean, you BDMs, you literally insanely rose to the challenge.
Yeah, and
it makes I get very emotional talking about it.
It's an awesome community because you saw his post, and then there was as of right now there's 280 comments. BDM started a GoFundMe for him. You started donating to the GoFundMe. Everybody was in there. I saw Seth was like, hey, Seth jumped in there. He's like, I'll buy the tickets myself. Yeah. Now here's the thing. To the father Dan, I'm still working on it. It's been a busy week. I'm working on getting some people together.
Yeah, we're trying to organize it a little bit better.
And Daniel and I are going to donate as well. But just the BDMs, just from this one post, I think raised over $4,000.
Yeah, it's at $4,265 right now.
So we can get the entire family because, like, would it be? I mean, it wouldn't be fun if you left people out.
No.
You got to get everybody there, and you got to do lodging, you got to do tickets, and
it's
you
expensive.
Some incidentals. Disney is expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on it, and I'm going to be making some calls over the weekend. But we'll up that as well. And like I said, I'll call some sponsors and stuff, and I'm working on getting some tickets. I know some people that work at Disney.
We just want to make this easy because this kid, has been through the fucking ringer.
But here's the thing. All the credit goes to the BDMs first because you guys rose to the occasion. You stepped up.
The best listeners in the world.
I didn't even see this post until my wife was like, hey, you seen the BDMs post about...
She posted in there,
and then...
She actually brought it to my attention.
Yeah, and then I went back and I started looking. And I was like, this is fucking awesome.
The best listeners, point blank, period. Nobody better.
Yeah, and honestly, it makes out of anything we do, I am more proud of you guys and the listeners and the BDMs.
Downloads don't matter, events don't matter, amount of people that go to events don't matter, funny shows don't matter.
Any success we ever garner won't matter as much as this.
If you can make one kid who's literally been through the fucking ringer, if you can make him and his family have an amazing week or an amazing weekend, then it makes everything we do completely worthwhile.
Yeah, and the fact that we have a community that was willing to step up and do this by yourselves.
I mean, you guys blew me and Tom away. Like when I read the comments, like I even said in there, I was like, "Fuck, guys." I mean, like I was reading it, and I started fucking crying. I'm like obviously a sensitive, Peloton wine mom bitch, and
White Claw dryer too.
Yeah. No, I deserve that. But it was like that because you read what everybody was doing and what everybody was putting in, unfucking believable.
Yeah.
The amount of comments, the amount of people that jumped in there, unbelievable.
And
you're the best listeners. We could not ask for a better community, a better family. You're the best, and I'm very proud of that. I'm extremely proud of that.
What's the GoFundMe, real quick, in case anybody wants to throw in a couple bucks? Because I'm trying to find it.
GoFundMe.com/ Butler-family-BDM-fundraiser. You could probably just look up BDM fundraiser in GoFundMe.
Yeah, I think it'll pop up.
Yeah, and his last name is Butler.
Yeah.
So you'll find it. But if you want to throw a couple bucks towards the cause, but we're working on it right now, and I know I got some sponsors that are down to throwing some money.
And we're gonna throw some in.
Because you need more than $4,000 to get your whole family flight to Disney World, stay in a hotel, and that kind. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's a big family, and you want it to be right. And I just think it's great.
Yeah.
It's like out of all the things that we do, when I see
this,
it really is the highlight of what you and I have. I wouldn't say we've created it. We've all created it. I guess you and I started it years ago, but it's the people that are now attached to our family that make it right.
And 100%, me and Daniel, we are in the mindset of we didn't.
I'm sorry if I get all weird about it.
We didn't create this.
No.
We are just one part of it, and that's it. And you guys, here's the thing: you guys are all the parts of it. We're just a sliver of it, and like we said, we're
the loudest sliver.
Yeah,
and then you guys actually have your subgroups, and you have your own meetups, and you do all these awesome crazy things, and it's amazing. But when you do this kind of stuff, god damn it, man. I mean, in a world where when you go on CNN and USA Today, you see all this bullshit and you see so much hate and people fighting on Facebook, it was actually really nice to see, sick kid just wants to do some fun shit, and then everybody's like, sick kid wants to do fun shit, we'll make that happen, and we'll make it happen fast. That gets me, man. I mean, that's what I mean, when people ask you, what's the meaning of life? I don't know. To me, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
That seems more accurate than anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Like, especially nowadays.
Although hang gliding is pretty awesome. I don't know if anybody's tried it, but it is good.
But well done, guys. I mean, I've literally never been prouder of that group.
Yeah, me too.
I was stoked. So if you can do something, great. And okay. Anything else?
I think it's it. We're done. All right, guys. We appreciate you listening. We'll be back with more new Corporate Times next week.
Yep.
And
Well, it's a new one tonight.
Yeah, but it's
With the
abbreviated
CBE group,
because
yep.
it is Fuck Atlanta
Preempted,
week.
yep.
So fuck Atlanta.
Oh, what's the spread?
Right in their ass.
Oh, God.
And
Which has to be tough for you to say in a way.
Well, I mean, I know Arthur Blank owns both teams, so it is hard for me to say, but I'm not a fan of their. I think I'd be cooler with it if I thought that their supporter groups were in any way, shape, or form cool, and they're not. They're just not good guys.
Yeah, no, they aren't.
So I'm all about.
They're fucking shitbags.
I'm purple crazy. So let's finally change history a little bit tonight, guys. So go Orlando City.
Fuck ATL.
And anything else?
That's it.
All right, we'll see you next week.